Welcome back to Crafters TV. Woo-hoo-hoo! Hiya! Morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world watching us. It is our show here. It's Creative Cravings you're tuning in with an added extra bonus. We've got a bit of tonic for your evening. Oh, yep. We have got some fabulous treats. If we've not met before, hi, how are you? My name's Becky. Things to know about me. I live in Chester. Favourite colour's purple and was once briefly allergic to tomatoes. We have got loads and loads and loads of goodies. If we've not met before, do feel free to introduce yourself on our socials. Now, whilst you're on the internet, why don't you have a little look at your emails? Because we've sent you an email today to reveal Wheel Deal that we've sent you. And in there, you are going to get a fabulous mystery gift. Some of you are going to get some discount off, like a certain percentage off your basket. Happy days. Some of you are going to get a free, fabulous gift. Now, I don't know if I'm allowed to hint at what this gift is, but I know what it is-ish, and it's a good one. We have got, speaking of good ones, loads of treats on today, including one that only launched yesterday. But we've also got some fabulous creativity. Jodie from Tonic Studios, Tonic Studios is coming up for us in a little bit. But before that, we've got the wonderful Lilly with us. Hi, Lilly, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Excited to be back here for Creative Cravings. It's going to be a fab show. Really excited about this one.
What are you most looking forward to in this, or is it hard to choose?
That is just such a difficult question. It's like saying which is your favourite child. It's like picking between tea and coffee. It's one of those things. But I have to say the inverted nesting dies they're those dies that you have in your stash and you use them time and time again. I use them almost day in, day out when I'm crafting. They're your crafty staples, so I'm so pleased. We've got them on today's show, but not just have we got them on the show today, we've actually got them at the best ever price. Yeah! So stay tuned for a fab deal on those.
I'm so excited about that. And speaking of great prices, we do great prices here at Crafters, right? You know we do great prices, we do brilliant bundles. We even let you save money for free as part of our Club Inspire, and we send you emails like the one we've sent you today, just giving you discounts and treats left, right and centre for no real reason, just because we want to say how much we appreciate you having with us. And the thing is that the deal I'm about to show you is definitely appreciation station deal. We are bringing to you some gorgeous dies that you may well have seen before. You might have even treated yourself to one before. But if you have only treated yourself to one or maybe even two of these, today is definitely the day to get your hands on this bundle. Let me talk you through it. It's your create card, so you're getting 2 dies in each one of these boards, and you can use them to cut into your card straight into it, creating what size you want, or you can use them both together to create a borderless design. We're bringing to you your Take Flight, as well as that one I'm bringing to you your Ornate Cross. Then in here I'm also bringing to you your Butterfly Love, which does have the pop-upable wings, which is so lovely. It just adds extra dimension. And then I've got a beautiful, there you go, Church Blessings, wrong way round. I did that before as well. Ooh, like to keep you on toes. Now, I have got for you, if you want this one, you can buy this one, and then you're going to get this one and this one and this one for free. It's buy one, get 3 free deal today. So it's a massive discount. If you do want to seize the moment on these, absolutely do. We'll chat more about them in a wee while though. So it's not just those that I've got for you on the show today. I also want to let you know that we've got the Decoupage pads. Now these only launched yesterday and they were so very popular. We wanted to bring them to you today in case you missed them yesterday, because I don't know, you had something ridiculous on like work. You've got a stunning price, 20% discount. You're getting all of that for $15.98 or $20.75. We'll talk more about them later and I'll flick through them and stuff for you. However, it's not just there where we've got, I want to start with you with the nesting dies today. And these are the nesting dies we're looking at initially. We have got a big amount in here, and what I mean by that is there is a whole heap of dies within this to create gorgeous looks. Whether you use them together, layer them, mix them, you can either cut in or get circlets out. This one is those lace circles. I've also got your inverted stitch squares. So when you're looking at these, when you look at them really closely, you'll see that you've got this stitched edge. It's beautiful. Same sort of appeal in that one with this time the rectangles. I've also got your ovals within this too. Great for framing, great for photo books. Imagine your sentiments of different sizes within here. I've got the circlet as well. This is with the scalloped edge and the inverted stitch. We've got the same sort of situation with the square and again with the rectangle. I am, just over halfway through the boards here. There is a lot going on in this. I've also got for you in here the stitch inverted scalloped ovals. Now this is where it gets fancy. I love these ones. We've got for you the zigzag design. It's bold, it's active, it's almost like a sort of 3D effect when you see these in real life with that stitching detail. I've also got it here in that zigzag square. Imagine if you love your mixed media, doing these almost like tiles and creating different images on each that can then marry together in a jigsaw. I've also got a few zigzag rectangles here, really eye-catching. You can layer these up. Great for like maybe making your own sort of stamps with people's faces on them. It could be kind of cool. Then I've also got for you your zigzag oval as well here. Again, creating that beautiful design, really eye-catching and conic. Let me just remind you of how many of these, just knocked some over. I'm going to blame Ben. Because he put it up. You have got loads and loads of these. I am still going. Now, I just want to let you know, £120 is fantastic for all of this. Today it's £89. If you platinum, it's just under £72 today. There is masses here, genuinely loads. So if you want to seize the moment on these, absolutely do. If you've already got them, let us know what you've made with them and why you love them. You can grab us on our socials. Hello to you all. Beth's in with us again. Hiya, Carmen. Hey up, Kathy. You all right, me love? I've got Joan in from Iowa. Hello to Natty. You're in with us again. Welcome, welcome. Do say hello. Let us know what you're up to today. Let us know if you're crafting. And do let us know if you're playing any games on this most important International Chess Day. Shall we start to talk about these fabulous dies, which you love, don't you, Lily?
I do. I have to say, I absolutely love a nesting die. They're just, as I always say, they're the staples in your crafty stash. When you first start die cutting, I think we're always drawn to the really pretty and fancy and filigree dies, but it's your nesting dies that are those core dies in your stash that you'll use day in, day out when you're crafting. They'll give you those mats and layers really easily and really quickly. And when you've got dies like we've got with our inverted nesting dies, gives you that little point of difference as well. It's not just a straight mat and layer, which is great sometimes. We don't always want that decorative edge, but if you want that little extra bit of finesse onto your designs, that extra little bit of detail, then this collection is definitely going to be the one to go for. And the amount that you're getting within that bundle is absolutely incredible. And I'm loving the fact that you get the circular and the square designs. So if you prefer your square cards, they're going to be perfect for that. But we're also giving you the ovals and the rectangles. So if you're into your more rectangular cards, then they're going to work perfectly for those sort of dimensions of card. I'm going to be working with this first demo, the inverted stitch scallop circle. A little bit of a mouthful, especially at this time on an evening. Gone 6 o'clock, so getting towards bedtime. So get my teeth in. But inverted stitch scallop circle, and you're getting so much within the set. But there's a lot of detail actually packed within these dies. They might look slightly simple to start with, but when you look at them more closely, you start to unlock all the crafty possibilities that we've got within this set. If we actually break the set down, you sort of have an outer die for every sort of configuration that you've got within here. So that's just a solid, I say just, super, super useful, solid circular shape. And this sort of format is exactly the same for every set within this collection. So you get your solid, and then sort of its pair within the set is this scallop one, but it's not just a scallop, you also get the stitching detail on there too. But what you'll notice around the outside, there's no cutting edge at all. So what you get if you cut this just on its own, it will cut into your cardstock. So this central area will cut out, but around the outside, with there being no cutting edge, the outer part will stay in. However, if you want to release that, and like we'll see in just a moment, and actually create a frame, then you cut the two together, and that will give you another option. So just with these two dies here, one option of a solid circle, second option of cutting in, and third option cutting the two together to make a frame. So just with this pair of dies, we've got 3 different options straight off the bat. So you can see how versatile these really are going to be. Now they are great for framing elements. I mean, Becky was talking about photos, sentiments, great for framing all your focal elements on your cards. But talking of this die that might look quite plain, it might look quite boring and basic, but these are the sort of worker dies that are going to allow us to do things like creating our card shapes, which is exactly what we're going to do with this first card. Great. So all I've done is I've taken a piece of our multi-purpose card. You will find a fabulous pack of 120 sheets of this on our Shop the Day category for today. And all I've done is I've just folded it in half like so. So I've created my own mini little card blank, just so it's about the same size as this largest die within the collection. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my plates from my Gemini machine. Now this will obviously fit through your Gemini Junior with no problem at all, but in this instance I'm just going to be using my full-size Gemini. And here we can see that we've got the fold, so we've got our card base and we've got the fold along the top. In order to create a card blank, what we need to do is we take one edge of our die and actually hang that over the fold, just like so. If we weren't to do this and we were to cut just like that, all we'd end up with is 2 identical circles, which is not what we want in this case. We want to create a card base. So by hanging that edge just over the fold of our card base that we've created, this is going to give us a circular shaped card. Really, really easy to create. Just one pass through the die cutting machine with that die, and that's going to give us our own custom shaped card blank, which is really nice because of course we're using white cardstock, but you could be using any cardstock you like. Perhaps you want to be using some of the Centura Pearl that we've got on the show page for today. Perhaps you've got some mirror cards, pattern cards you want to be using. Lots and lots of different options, but when you're creating your own card bases, you've got complete freedom as to what cardstock you are choosing to use, both colour and finish. So super, super exciting. It just gives us lots more crafty options. So what we can see here is we've created a card base like so. If we left that like that, it would actually be a rocker card, so it will rock ever so slightly from side to side. We're going to make this a little bit more exciting, if you like, and we're actually going to make this into an easel card. So in order to do that, all we need to do is open out our card base. You can use a scoring tool and a scoreboard to do this. I find it easier just to do by eye, and all you need to do is fold it in half so that bottom edge meets that score line in the middle, and then just take a bone folder. This is just the scoring tool from the Ultimate Pro, and just reinforce that score line into there like so, and that's going to give us the start. Oh, I've got a bit of a sticky mat. We'll blame Jodie. I don't think she can hear us. She's out there having a dinner, so she can't hear us. We're all right. We'll blame Jodie. We're safe. And we just fold that in half, and that gives us the start of our easel card. However, in order to turn this, we're not tearing anything just yet. We're going to turn it into an easel card. All we've done is we've taken that exact same die that we used for our card base. We've just cut out one solid circle, so no hanging the die over the edge or anything like that we did with the first cut. We just cut a full circle, and then we're going to add some adhesive onto this part that we've folded over, and it's always easier to put your adhesive onto your card base rather than onto your extra piece, because if you put it onto your extra piece, you're sort of having to measure exactly how far up that glue needs to go to make sure it doesn't overlap too much. Just much easier to add your adhesive onto that folded piece, and then line up our top section of the card, stick it down like so, and that gives us the start of our easel card. Really, really easy. easy easel to create super easy with these dies, but a little bit of something different onto that. But let's start to bring in some other dies within the collection just to mass and layer that up and make it a little bit more interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some gold card. Now this is actually from the Dancing Dragonfly collection, the A4 pearl card that you will find on the website. Lovely little selection that we've got on today's shows. So in order to cut the frame that we're talking about earlier, we need both dies together. So both the inner detail die that cuts into your card, and then we'll also need that outer die, the same one that we used to create our card base, in order to cut this out in a frame. And I was talking about earlier, on earlier shows, if you've been washing throughout the day, how important it is to actually use some low tack tape when you are running your dies through your die cutting machine, just to make sure that they don't move, and having a piece either side so that the die definitely isn't going to move at all. Just means that one side of the die is not going to pivot around, even though the other side might stay in position.
So when one says pivot, is it just me, or do you think of Friends?
I've never seen
Pivot! You want to excuse me? Excuse? Never?
I don't watch telly, so...
Yeah, but Friends, that's not telly. That's,
Yeah.
I don't know, that's a legacy. Yeah, but Charlotte's wondering, can you try it?
I'm too busy crafting.
All right, good.
Quite honestly.
Good enough excuse. Good enough excuse. Yeah.
It's true. It is true. But yeah, don't really watch. I'll be honest. I do watch a lot of crafters TV, and it's true.
That's it.
Sad
though,
but
is
true.
It?
Pretty much it. Yeah.
I like that. Crafters TV.
If I'm not here, I'm
Jennifer
watching.
Aniston, etc. Love it. Brilliant.
Absolutely. What's she got that we've not got? Quite frankly, is all I would like to know.
Love it.
Take that, Yeah. Anyway, back to the crafting, the thing that I know something about, which I don't know anything about Friends, but I do know a little bit about crafting, thank goodness. So that's what we get when we cut the two dies together, we get a frame. So you can see already we've got two different options, and we're going to start to layer these together. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my call-out tacky glue, and I'm not going to screw the whole lid off, I'm just going to screw that top bit off like so. Of course, you could be using some of your foam pads, if you've got little foam pads onto here, in order to add a little bit of extra dimension onto this piece, if you wanted this to stand proud on the top of your card. But very easy, just to mat and layer this onto that, and because we've used the same outer die on there, it's going to be exactly the same size, so it's going to work perfectly onto there. Getting a bit of a mucky mess there we go. Just going to add that onto there like so, and that looks perfect onto there. On the bottom, all I've done is I've cut another of exactly the same design, but because we've got that fold line there, all we're going to need to do is just trim a little bit off the bottom of this piece, just as it overlaps. So about there, we're just going to trim off the top edge of our circle. I nearly called it an oval. You do get ovals in the collection, but this is, of course, a circle, and we're just going to trim that off so that edge is not going to overlap the fold line that we've got on our easel card. So again, adding a little bit of our tacky glue. It's fabulous quick grabbing glue. This does give you enough wiggle room that you've got time to actually maneuver it into position into exactly the place that you want it, but it will give you a nice quick grab, so that you're not sort of waiting around having to hold it into position for absolutely ages and ages. It's going to give you a nice firm grab onto there. And then all we've done is we've taken the next die size down, so just the solid one, and we've cut this twice from one of our decorative papers from our Dancing Dragonfly collection. So that same collection that we got our lovely pearlized card from. We've also got this 12 by 12 inch pattern paper from exactly the same pad, so then we know that everything is going to work together beautifully when it's from the same collection. I'm going to add a few foam pads to one of these. So for the top layer, we're going to add a few foam pads to lift that up. But for the base layer, with that being the bottom part of the easel, we want to keep that quite flat. So we're just going to use some of our tape runner onto there so that we've not got any dimension onto that bottom section. And just line that up so it's in the centre of that frame. That's starting to look nice, but we're going to sort of take it one step a little bit further. And all I've done is I've done exactly the same, but with one of the smaller dies within the collection. So I've created our card base. It's a tiny little diddy one, quite a cute little easel. These will be great perhaps if you're doing name cards at fancy dinners or at Christmas time, or for little gift tags. These are great, the little smaller dies in the collection. You always sort of think sentiments for stuff like this, but they do work brilliantly still for all of your card bases as well. I think there's something fabulous about doing little diddy cards. I love a little cute card, little diddy card. Ben in my ear is liking the word diddy.
It is a good word.
Cute little word,
Diddy.
yeah. Diddy, little diddy cards.
Tinky Winky, Diddy. Could be, couldn't it?
It could be.
Oh,
Oh. Oh, funny. So we're doing exactly the same on our smaller, our diddy little one, just using the smaller dies in the collection. So we've created our card base in exactly the same way that we did for that larger card, and then we're adding on our 2 frames to the top and to the base of our easel card, just to keep the design same top and bottom. And then we've done the same with our solid circles with our pattern paper, and for the top one we're going to add a foam pad just into the centre like so, and these are our Crafters Companion foam pads. These are our larger ones, the 3mm depth, so it's going to give us a nice bit of lift onto there just to make that stand proud from that card base, and then flat onto the bottom. Then all we're going to do is we're actually going to create a double easel, so we're going to stick our smaller easel to our larger easel like so, and our smaller easel is going to act as the stopper for the larger one. So we don't need a stopper as such for the big one, as it's actually the smaller easel that's going to act as the stopper for that card. And we're going to line that up, so I'm using a little bit of our I was going to say low tack tape, definitely not low tack tape, or tape runner, because it's nice and strong, definitely not low tack. I'm just going to line that up along there, and you can see that that's starting to form our easel card really nicely onto there with our stopper as our smaller easel. Then what we're going to do is we're going to need a stopper for our smaller easel. So what I've got is I've taken, these are some of the charms that you can get within the Dancing Dragonfly collection. I've taken one of these metal charms, and I think I'll be honest, I find it really difficult to use these charms because they're so pretty. You sort of think, oh, shall I use one? Shall I not? Shall I not use them? Shall I save them?
I know
use
what you
them.
mean, yeah.
Use them.
Use them.
Use them. There's no use having them if you're not going to use them. So definitely get them out for all your special projects. They're going to give your projects a really, really special, that finishing touch that looks a little bit different to perhaps more ordinary cards. I'm just checking, I might need to add it on foam pads. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to get a little foam pad behind that. I did originally put a little bit of red liner tape on there, but with it being a stopper, we do need it raised up that little bit more. So I'm going to add a couple of foam pads just to the back of our metal embellishment. I think often we think of adding charms like this to the centre of bows or hanging from ribbon, but you can use them just as little embellishments like so, like as a stopper. It doesn't have to be threaded through ribbon or any sort of thread or twine or anything like that. However you choose to use these, they're going to look absolutely fabulous. The only thing is, use them, which is easier said than done, and I know that myself. I am a little bit of a hoarder of embellishments, I have to say. Then carrying on the theme of the Dancing Dragonfly collection, I've taken the Dainty Dragonfly die and I've cut one in white. That's from the detailed part of the die set. I'm just going to ink the edges using our crushed velvet water reactive Spectrum Noir ink pad, and then I've cut the solid one in that same gold card from that card pack, and we're going to layer the two together, but by adding a little bit of purple ink, that's going to make it tie in with those backing papers that we added onto our card base, so that everything's going to work together absolutely beautifully, and everything's going to be tying in together. All the colour tones are going to work together really nicely, and it's going to give us that lovely professional finish to our card. Not just any old card though, a double easel card. So it gives it a little bit of a point of difference. You don't find anything like this at all in the shop. So when you are giving these, or even if you are making these to sell, it's going to give your cards that little extra sort of, it's going to elevate them a little bit more. It's going to make them that little bit different, which I think is something that we love when we come to create our own cards. So we're going to just have a sort of little layout, a little position, decide exactly where we want everything. So I think I'm going to pop that about in the middle like so. So adding a little bit of our tape runner to the centre of the body. Like I did on one of my projects earlier, I'm not adding any tape to the very edges of the wings, just so that they can sort of fly free, and it's going to give us even more dimension onto that. And then in order to finish it off, we're going to add something to that centre of our smaller easel. And what I've done is I've taken another of the dies from the Dancing Dragonfly. This is our simple sentiments, and I've cut one in white and I've cut the other one in gold. I'm going to do a little bit of a drop shadow. So the one that is in white is going to be my top layer. So I'm adding some of my dotty tape pen just to the back of there, and your dotty tape pens are absolutely brilliant for any sort of detailed die cuts like we've got here. I'm going to add that with the gold underneath, so the gold is slightly down and slightly to the left hand side to give us that drop shadow, just to make it stand out a little bit more. If we were just to use the white or just to use the gold, it would look slightly flat. It would still look lovely, but this is just going to give it that real finishing touch. It's going to give it that real edge and make it look that little bit more special. So with our two layers, we add in our mine's gone blank, dotty tape runner. I say it about 100 times a day and I totally forgot it. Our dotty tape runner into the middle of there. And with these being quite delicate and fragile sentiments, you can actually bend them a little bit. So if you do want it to sort of go up or down, if you want it on a slant or to follow the curve of an oval or a circle like these nesting dies, you can absolutely do that with these. And the finesse of the die allows you to do that quite easily. We can see that came together really quite quickly. Just a few mats and layers is really all it is, using your inverted nesting dies to create quite a pretty, a sweet little card, double easel card. But when you've got nesting dies like these, it's actually so simple to create your own shape cards, whether it's a standard top fold or tent fold or side fold card, or something a little bit more elaborate like your double easels. Don't forget, you can be doing this with any of the shapes within that collection. Just so fun to create too.
Isn't that fantabulous? Thank you so much for showing us that. Beth is saying she agrees with you, Lily. I try to use things like charms and gems, etc., but always feel I should save them. We're saying you've given us a reason not to there.
I know, the thing is you save them for best, but best never comes. So my new resolution, crafty resolution, is use them. I can always buy some more if I need to, quite frankly. So
of course you can.
Use them.
If you would like to treat yourself to these to be able to recreate that look and so many more, let me remind you, you're getting all of these. I've got some inverted stitch laces for you, and you're getting each of these in a circle. I've also got squares, and you've got rectangles, and you've got ovals. But not only that, oh no, I've also got your inverted scallop in the circle. Lovely detail on those ones, which is matched in the square, in your rectangle, and again in your oval. And then last but by no means least, I've got your zig and zag. Oh, zig and zag, do you remember them? Puppets. We were talking about puppets earlier on, weren't we, Ben? Oh. Yeah, it's when we were, I was having a sandwich and we were talking, it was a weird moment. Anyway, zig and zag circles, so we've also got that in the square and bringing it to you in the rectangles and again in your ovals. So, perfect time to treat yourself to it because it's a bargain. £89, $116. Don't forget to check your emails, because you may or may not, if you're part of our Club Inspire, have a special code from us. So do have a little nosy, and that's not the only goodie I've got for you today. Ooh, let me show you this. I have got paper pads for you, 6x6. Now these have been really popular today, and you've got 3 different types, which I love, because again, I think we don't just do it with gems and charms, right? We do it with papers. We save them till best. Well, don't. If you stock up on these, which I love, you are going to be smiling from ear to ear as you craft and craft and craft. This one, by the way, is our Enchanted Dreams 6x6 Sarah signature. That's one of my favourites. Is that great? You've got lots of different motifs, including the likes of our unicorn in here, unicorn, and this one here is Hilariacorn. You've got lots of little scriptures in there, textures, areas in here, A up. Why don't you use like maybe one of your circles to actually just cut out an element within here, because then you can use it as like a proper frame. Also, how perfect is these kind of designs where you've got that kind of etching in for the likes of our inverted dies that we've got for you. It kind of mimics it. Spirograph, that's what it makes me think of. Not just got that one, I've got your vintage butterflies in here as well. So vintage butterflies, it's got that feeling of aged detail, wonderful butterflies within here, including stamp motifs, which run throughout as well. And it is actually in the UK, it's the start of, they're basically doing a huge survey on butterflies. Lots of people are being asked to see say online which ones they spot for a big survey. So this would be a lovely one if you wanted to raise awareness for something like that. And then I've got your Country Lane in here as well. So this one for you is just, do you know what, hang on, because I've also got on the show, Move Yourself. I've got this on the show as well, and I just want to show you, this is separate, mind, but this is our Country Lane, this is our linen card, but I just thought I'd show you in case you had it. I just wanted to show you them next to each other, because can you see how we have perfectly matched these up? So if you do have the Country Lane collection, look, you've got all of the colours pinpointed out, like the greens that are in here. So if you do want to pair these up together, you might as well add that to your order as well if you fancied it. Today I have got all 3 sets, and it is a buy 2 get 1 for free. So a great opportunity to seize the moment on those. Just £11.98 for all 3 of them. That's 104 sheets of beauty in this, or £19.90. So do seize the moment on those ones if you want. It's time to make a big scene. I don't really know how to make a scene. Okay, I just want to let you know that way over half of this has already gone. We had a decent amount at the start of the show, sure we did, but then people clocked on that it was buy 1 get 3 for free, and all of a sudden over half has gone. In fact, 60% has gone on this. It is a buy 1 get 3 for free. And just as a reminder, these are the ones you're getting in here for your big scenes. I've got for you lots of different designs, beautiful church there. I'm also bringing to you your balloon, which Lily worked with earlier on. It was just gorgeous. I'm bringing to you this ornate cross as well, with all of this beautiful detail within it. And then I've also got your butterfly love. Now 60% of my stock has gone on this, so please do squeeze the moment whilst you have the opportunity to do so. That's a really important one for you. I have had a question in from Rosalind asking just about those, the inverted dies. Yeah. What is the size of the largest square?
Oh, that is a very good question, and I can tell you in just a moment.
Lily will have a little look and we'll let you know.
So the largest one is 4 by 4 inches.
Fabulous.
Which is 10.2 centimetres if you do centimetres, but who does centimetres these days in craft? 4 by 4.
That's perfect, thank you so much. I hope that helps you. So, shall we get to see these in action? We've already seen the balloon. What are we using next, Lily?
We're going to go for those fabulous butterflies. I mean, it wasn't going to be long before I could resist the butterflies. You guys know I love a butterfly, so I had to use this die set. We're actually going to create quite a large gift box for this particular demonstration. So all I've done is I've taken a piece of, this is actually Centura pearl, but I'm actually using the reverse. I'm not using the pearl side for this particular creation. And what we've done is we've cut it down to 12.5 inches by about 11 3/4. So 12.5 by 11 3/4, and all we've done is we've scored at 6 inches and 12 inches. So our little tab on that side is 1/2 inch, and then on the other side we've scored at 8 1/4 inches. Then what we did, similar to what we did on this afternoon's craft along, if you saw, we cut out a few little triangles into there just to reduce the bulk when we come to pop our our box together. And that's 2 of our sides of our box. Onto these, we're going to take some of that pattern paper from the Country Lane paper pad. For the side panels, just with the size, I'm actually using the 12 by 12 pad, but when we come to do the lid later, I will be using that 6 by 6 pad. And I have to say that bundle that we've got in today's show is absolute corking bundle. Some of the paper pads in there are absolutely brilliant, and some of my go-tos from the Sarah Signature range. You get a real different selection of different themes, different colours, different designs in there. So something for lots of different occasions, great for stocking up. Perhaps if you're new to crafting, or you're just needing to sort of replenish your stock of your 6 by 6 papers, that bundle is absolutely one to go for. And lots of crafting to be had with that amazing collection of papers. But what we've done is we've added our papers onto our box panels. We've left about 3/4 inch at the top, just because when we come to create our lid, it's going to have a depth of about 3/4 inch, so we don't need our papers to go all the way to the top of our box panels. So that's our 2 sides. We're going to leave that to one side just for a moment, and we're going to bring in another piece of card. And I've actually cut 2 of these, and these are measuring 6 1/2 inches by exactly the same height, so 11 3/4. We've done exactly the same as we've scored at 6 inches and again at 8 1/4. We've got our little 1 inch tab where we've cut in our little slits, or not slits as such, or triangles if you like, or slants, just to make this a little bit neater when we come to fold it up. And this is the point where we're going to bring in these fabulous dies that we've got within the collection. So again, the same as what we saw if you tune into this morning's wake-up call, we've got our inner cutting in die and our outer rectangular die, which is going to cut our design out should we so wish. But in this instance, we actually want to cut it into the side of the box. So all we're going to do is take our inner die, just that central one with no outer edge. We're going to position this onto the centre. So I want an even border around left and right and the bottom of this piece up to that score line. That top section is going to be ever so slightly larger, just because of where our lid is going to overlap that piece there. And we're taking our low tack tape and try and tape on the waist. So I know that area there is actually going to cut out of our box, so I'm trying not to get my tape on the areas which is not waist. So we want to tape on the waist just in case our tape should rip our card a little bit if it takes up some of those top fibres of that top layer of cardstock. By taping on the waist, then we don't need to worry about it if it rips the card a little bit. But like I said on the earlier show, if it does, it's just an opportunity for another embellishment to cover it. So get another butterfly on there, get a dragonfly, a few flowers, a few gems, and no one will know. So don't worry about anything like that ever.
Yeah, just let you know, 2/3 of the stock has gone on this. 2/3. So busy. You've got the gist of this. Sorry, massive, ridiculous giveaway for loads and loads. All right then, twist my arm. Do feel free to treat yourself.
And quite frankly, even if you've already got one set, even if you've got 2 sets, quite frankly, get them for the sets that you've not got, and then give away to perhaps a crafty friend the other sets. They're not going to know you've basically not really paid for them. They're just going to be delighted that they've got a fabulous set of dies. You know? They don't need to know. Or put them away for a present, Christmas present. Yeah. Oh, I was talking to somebody yesterday. They've started their Christmas shopping.
I love that. I love that. Good on them.
Yeah.
Good on them.
Certainly wasn't me, that's for sure.
No, me either.
Yeah, Ben's saying in my ear Christmas Eve, and quite frankly, I'm not much different. My Christmas cards get made on Christmas Eve, and
Blimey!
Yeah.
Last minute, I love it.
See, the thing is, I'm crafting Christmas pretty much all year.
Yeah, of course.
And then it comes to proper Christmas, it's like, oh gosh, I'm going to have to do Christmas again.
Again! It's that time again.
I know.
Sarah's in with us saying, hi Lily and Becky, sending hugs your way from Melbourne, Australia.
Hello!
Where it is 3 a.m.
Morning.
And 2 degrees. I was in my couch Sarah Brown said once, Lily, that it was an auto-cue correct, and she said, I'm sat in my couch as opposed to on my couch. But I don't think that's the truth. I think Sarah actually, like, sits on the sofa, gets all of the cushions, just piles them on top. I can imagine her, like, waiting for someone to sit down, and she goes, woo! You know, like, that's just what I thought. Anyway, you are now sat in bed, apparently, in bed, but I think you're probably just on the bed.
No, it's not as cosy. If it's cold, you need to be in the bed.
At 2 degrees, you do, for sure.
Yes, definitely.
Hiya, Sarah. I hope you're all good, my love.
Lovely to have your company.
Definitely.
As it is, everybody we've got joining us on this. I nearly said Monday evening. Dear, Wednesday evening. Monday. I don't know what day it is, quite frankly. It's a crafting day. It's always a crafting day. That's all I know. But one passed through the die cutting machine, and you can see, because it was quite a big die, we had to put it bang in the middle of our cutting plate. So there's no sort of jiggery pokery, no adding it to the side of the plate or shimming it up or anything like that. Cut through once, absolutely beautifully. And I did take a little bit of time just easing it out of the die. With it being so delicate, you don't want to rip it. Just take a little bit of time getting it out of the die, and you'll get that beautiful finish like we have here. Now we want to make those butterflies stand out a little bit more, so we're going to add some ink onto those butterflies to bring out that detail. I'm starting off with a little bit of ocean blue, and these are some of our some of our water reactive inks from Spectrum Noir. Fabulous for all your blending, for adding little bits of colour onto die cut designs just like this. So of course you could be paper piecing a little bit like we did on Wake Up Call today when we used the Take Flight die set from within that collection. But if you do want to add some inks, then you're going to get a fabulous result as well. So it's just completely up to you whether you prefer using your inks, perhaps you want to bring out some of your alcohol markers, perhaps some of your aqua pens. Lots and lots of different options when you come to add colour onto these. Or don't even add any colour at all. Cut them perhaps in black and silhouette them against, maybe you've got lovely backgrounds that you've created, inky backgrounds. Maybe you've got lovely pattern papers in your crafty stash. Maybe some of the fabulous papers that we've got on today's show. Lots and lots of different options. Don't think, oh, you know, I don't like adding colour to things, I'm not confident with my inks or my pens, are these dyes going to be for me? Well, absolutely, there's lots and lots of different options when you come to use these dyes. Even just one colour of card with a drop shadow is going to give you an amazing result. But by using some of our ink blending tools, this is just our finger daubers, you could use some of our blending sponges that you'll find on the website, or our round or square blending tools to use with these inks to add a little bit of colour, almost like a little ombre onto our butterflies. And I'm going in now with the purple, which is crushed velvet, which I always find really hard to say. I have to say crushed velvet, I have to say it really slowly. And adding that onto the edges of the wings to bring that detail into there. So ocean blue and crushed velvet work together really, really nicely, but you could be going for any colour combination at all. Several colours, just the one colour, it's all going to look fabulous on this beautiful die. And when we've added that onto there like so, that's the sort of result we get quite quickly and easily, but really fun to create. And all I've done is I've done that twice. So I've done exactly the same technique twice, exactly the same dimensions that we did for the original one, exactly the same die cut and ink pads to colour, and that's going to give us this effect. What we're going to do now is we're going to take some of our vellum. This is again from the Country Lane collection. So we use the papers from the Sarah Signature Country Lane, and now we're using some of the vellum from the same collection just to get that same design on the sides. So on our first two sides that we did with our pattern papers where we didn't die cut into them, we used the paper from this collection, but here on the other two sides that we've die cut into, we're using some of our vellum. So of course you could be cutting, die cutting into all four sides of the box, you could cut just into one, cut into three, completely up to you, but for this particular box we are cutting into two sides of the box. So we've got that cutaway, create a card element on two sides, and then our pattern paper on the other two, and it's going to give us this fabulous effect, almost like a lantern box if you like, a really nice tall big striking box. Great as a centerpiece, even as a decoration, perhaps on a table it would look fabulous, but really, really pretty and quite striking. So we've added our vellum behind there, and then what we're going to do along this tab, we're going to add some of our tape runner. You could be using red liner tape. With it being construction, you do want a nice strong adhesive. We're going to add these two together like so, just lining that up and sticking them two together. Then we're going to bring back our double panel that we did at the very start. So our panel that's got our two pattern papers onto there. A little bit of tape runner onto that tab, and that's going to stick this together. So then we've got our 4 sides all in a row, just like so. And then finally we're going to add onto our last tab some more tape runner onto that final tab onto that. Nice big piece here. You can see why we had to do this in several different parts. You wouldn't get a piece of cardstock this big, not easily anyway. I don't think we sell it quite this large on our website, but by doing it in several pieces, it makes it a little bit more manageable. You can sort of break it down into your different parts. It makes it a much more achievable project that rather than one massive piece of card to start with, which can be a little bit unwieldy to be fair, but doing it this way is nice and achievable. Make sure all of those score lines are nicely reinforced and all these tabs are stuck down really nicely. And then we come to our base. So what I tend to do is I'll tend to fold 2 sides in and then the other 2 on top. So I should probably have done this while it was flat if I wanted to use my tape runner, but not to worry, I can use some red liner tape and that will be easy enough when it's sort of in midair like so. So adding some of our 12mm red liner tape onto these 2 tabs and then the other 2 over the top. I'm going to add some more. So our nice big format red liner tape, nice thick width onto this one is going to give us nice size, so we've got plenty of adhesive onto our box base. And of course you could be adding another piece, another square over the top of our base just to really reinforce that if you feel like you need to. But with this being Centura Pearl 300 GSM card, it's going to be quite weighty and quite strong as it is already, so that should give us a nice strong base to our box. And just from the inside, just burnish that down to make sure that that's glue, that tape has all caught onto that. And then that's going to give us our box size. All we need to do to create it into a proper box is actually create a lid. So we've got our box size with our 2 cutting details and then our 2 sides with our pattern papers. And in order to create our lid, all we've done is we've taken a piece of multi-purpose card, we've cut it down to 7 5/8 of an inch, and we've scored on each edge at 3/4 of an inch. So it's going to be a box lid with a 3/4 inch depth. And some more papers, this time from our 6x6 Sarah Signature Country Lane collection, part of that trio of paper pads that we've got on today's show. We've inked the edges ever so slightly with that same crushed velvet ink that we used on our butterflies when we were inking through that die. Same ink onto the edges of these little panels and a few small panels just for the sides of the box lid, just to make everything sort of tying together beautifully and have that same similar print, that same colour tone on the sides of the box, on the box lid and on the sides of the box lid as well. So everything's going to work together so beautifully. And I have to say, I absolutely love this sort of, it's almost like a wood grain, a greeny wood grain effect paper. Must say I use this paper pad time and time again for the reverse designs more than anything. So you get the more sort of bold feature designs on one side, and then on the other side you get more like textures like we've got here. So you've got sort of wood grains, sort of faux textured finishes, little bits of faux gilding onto there. And they're just really, really usable designs that you'll be using time and time again on your everyday crafting, just as that little backing paper to finish off your designs. But that's our box lid. All we need to do is we need to add some adhesive onto the tabs. And just like we did with our box sides, and that's given up the ghost, I think. No, we got back going again, not to worry. Just like we did with our box size, we've cut our little triangles out so that when we come to fold up our box, it's going to give us a nice, neat finish onto that. There's going to be no sort of snagging of the card, and it's going to all fold together really nicely and neatly. So if we fold our tabs up to pop our box lid together, just like so, and then this is going to form our lid for our nice big lantern style box. So reinforcing those score lines onto the lid, and then when we pop the two together, pop our nice big sides of our box. Let's hope it fits. If you watch this afternoon's craft along, you'll know my history with box lids fitting, but we won't talk about that because this one fits beautifully. And we've got our lovely big lantern box like so. You could be recutting some more of those butterflies, layering some on the top, snipping them out and using them as embellishments. But how fabulous does that look? A proper show-stopping piece, but literally just 2 die cuts. Really easy to put together, but great fun too.
Love it. Thank you for showing it. Nose just in. 70% gone. 70% of the stock has gone on this right now. So if you do want to treat yourself to it, absolutely feel free to do so this instant. I'm bringing to you a deal on these. It's your creator cards. You are getting a massive 8 dies in total, but you're only paying for 2 of them. Okay? We have got for you a brilliant deal. It's a buy 1, get 3 for free in the designs. These be your designs. I've got my butterfly love, which we've just used there. Take flight, which we used this morning. I've got for you the beautiful ornate cross and your church blessings design, $16.99 as opposed to nearly £68. It's a phenomenal discount. If you are relatively new with us, hiya, welcome to the fold. It's lovely to have you with us. Let me grab you some hero tools. These are those types of tools that you know that you're going to need, and if you use them from the beginning, then it just makes your life loads easier. Pokey tools you've got here, great for you to use for little fiddly bits, organising bits and bobs. I've also got for you your wonderful tweezers. Now these ones are great. You get your reverse tweezers. Those are the ones I use all the time for so many things. They're brilliant because they'll just hold whatever you've got in place, and then you've got different ones to real precision heads. I've also got this, which is a rather snazzy die cleaner. It means you just run this over the back of your die and all the bits pop out. You also get a bit of that foam, which you can use for foam forming. And then I've got your heads as well on this one if you want it. Not only have I got all of that, should I just mention then actually, like your flowers, if you did like paper flowers to form them, you can use that. You can also use some cintura if you want it. Now stopping you, I've got for you that much card. It's absolutely massive. Lots of different colours, and today we're bringing to you 120 sheets. So I've got for you your wonderful Christmas red, I've got for you your glitzy Christmas red, I've got your rose gold, I've got your Christmas green in the glitz, ooh, glitzer. I've got your rose gold in the glitz, I've got your lilac in the glitz as well. We've got for you that pink hue, which is a baby pink that puts perfectly with your baby blue, and then I've got the same kind of hues but then in your cintura. So you're getting your Christmas green, I've got that wonderful delicate lavender for you, lilac, I've got baby pink, and I've got your baby blue. So they all work perfectly together. Absolutely loads and loads and loads of them in there for just $36.99 or $61.99. So well worth seizing the moment if you're running low, or like me, you just love having our fabulous card stock. So seize the moment whilst you can. Before we finish this hour, let me chat to you about our decoupage pads. Now, these decoupage pads only launched yesterday. They were really popular. We've got a few left. Why do we love them, Lily?
They are fabulous. Oh, there's such a lovely range of designs within these pads, and like Becky said, you're getting not the one die cut topper pad, but both within that collection. These are great for your quick makes. I know when it comes to Christmas, we were just talking about it, I'm a little bit last minute. So if you are needing that quick make, that last minute make for Christmas, these are fabulous. But they don't scrimp on style, they don't scrimp on impact, they are amazing. Now, I've been having a little play with this one, so I promise I won't be having a little play with yours before it comes to you. Yours will be complete and you'll get all the designs in there. Now, we're kind of calling it a die cut topper pad, and in a way, it is die cut, of course. It is almost like decoupage as well, so you can layer the designs up, but they've been designed really, really cleverly so that you don't have to use them as decoupage, so you can get even more versatility and even more value out of these by using them as separate images. Rather than layering them up as decoupage, you can just use them as separate toppers, which is why we've called them topper pads rather than sort of decoupage pads. But of course, as you can see, you can decoupage the designs up. And I'm going to show you exactly how we can decoupage some of the images within this collection up in just a moment. But then we move on to our other pad within the collection. This is our fabulous Winter Joy. In both, they are 9 by 12 inches in size, 160 GSM, so a nice weight there, but it's going to give you, it's not so heavy that basically you can't shape it. It's heavy enough that it'll hold its shape, but it's not so heavy that it's going to be difficult to shape and then it will crack when you shape it. So a perfect weight. And you're getting 15 sheets in each, so 30 sheets in total. You can create over 560 toppers. I'm loving the poinsettias on here, pine cones. Could even be using this perhaps in autumn, so it's not just for winter and Christmas. So much you could be doing with this pad, just absolutely stunning designs. I want to show you quickly how we can use it as decoupage if you prefer. So I've torn a page out of the pad and I've just snipped out this particular design, this lovely snowman carrying his lantern. I think there's something so lovely and magical about lantern designs, especially at Christmas, I have to say. Any sort of festive design with a lantern on, yeah, I love it. I think it's fabulous. So our lovely little snowman, and we're going to pop him out. Really easy to do, just little pips in here, so it's being die cut and the designs are just held into place into the pad, just basically for transportation, so they actually stay within that sheet. We've got little what we call pips, and all we need to do is we just need to release our snowman from the carrier sheet, if you like, just by gently tearing the pips. And what you can do afterwards, if you find you want to sort of trim those little pips off, some people use a nail file, but I tend not to do that, as you can sort of accidentally remove some of the print of your design if you do try and file those off. So just take a small pair of scissors and just trim those pips off if you do find them noticeable, but I must say you can barely notice them at all. You get a beautiful finish when you pop these out of your pads. So popping out the final design, it's really, really easy to actually layer these up into our decoupage designs. It's kind of quite self-explanatory when we look at them. So our base layer is always sort of that biggest image, that most full image where we've got absolutely everything onto there. And then as we work up the layers, our next image will have a little bit cut out, and then we've got more cut away from the next layer, and then our top layer is sort of the smallest one. So we start with our base layer and then our second largest layer, and all I tend to do is I tend to add a little bit of shape to my decoupage. I use a pokey tool just because it's that sort of cylindrical object that I can roll my decoupage pieces around. Of course, you can use one of your foam mats, you know, the one that we have our ball tools that we use for our flower shaping. That works absolutely brilliant with your ball tools and your foam mat for all your decoupage as well, not just for your flower forming. So if you do find it easier to use those tools to shape your decoupage layers, that will work brilliantly too. Just whatever you find easiest, but by adding that little bit of shape into our snowman, it really does bring him to life that little bit more. And adding a little bit of shape, using foam pads on the back for that dimension. A lot of people will prefer to use their Collal 3D glue gel.
Well, that's interestingly what Stephen's just asked.
Ooh,
which would you use, foam pads or chunky glue?
Ooh, well, I have to say, most of our craft experts will say 3D glue gel. I will say I use foam pads.
Oh, I love it. You're a maverick.
Yes, I think Craig is the other one who would use foam pads.
Yeah.
I think he likes a good foam pad as well.
Yeah.
The main reason for me is it's just quicker. I don't have to wait for it to dry, quite frankly.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people will use their 3D glue gel. Some people will say it's easier to keep the shape once you've shaped your pieces. Some people will argue that you can't keep the shape of the foam pad. Not true. As long as you put your foam pads sort of tactically a little bit, so into the areas where I've got more shape, where it's more curved, that's where I'm going to add my foam pad, and the areas which are going to be less raised, I'm not going to have a foam pad onto there. You can still see that we've got plenty of shape within this design, even though we're not using our 3D glue gel. So it's totally up to you, it's personal preference, whatever you find easiest to work with, but either will definitely work.
Gorgeous, I love that. I also like the idea of having some sort of like debate team here at Crafters, you know, where we really talk about the important stuff, such as foam pads versus chunky glue, or what was another classic one be? The classic. There's always, oh, I don't know. Oh, I do this, they do that. Yeah. Which do you score on one side or both sides? Absolute classic. What? What are you saying, John? Dotty or solid tape pen.
But that's
Classic.
different uses. Different uses.
Oh, yeah. There's Lily will be in the middle.
Yeah, both. Anyway, so as you can see, very easily we laid up our snowman, but look at the dimension and depth that we've got onto there so quickly to create. You can just pop that onto a card and you're going to get a beautiful dimensional design in no time at all. Love
it. What a happy snowman. Thank you for showing us that, Lily. Isn't he gorgeous? Now, Lily's going to be back with us in a wee while, but whilst we have a little switcheroo, because we're about to, it's that time of night, isn't it? It's tonic o'clock. And we have got the lovely Jodie joining us with some more treats from Tonic. Don't you go anywhere. Myself and the team will be back in a few. Tickety-boos.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafty must-haves in a flash.
Make light work of intricate and delicate die-cutting designs with the Pokey Tool from Crafter's Companion. An absolute essential part of any paper crafter's kit, its precise tip has been designed to release the tiniest pieces to reveal your finished results with absolute precision. And to make sure your finished project is perfect, each Pokey Tool has a rubber tip protector, so there's no risk of damaging your die-cutting design or yourself. The Crafter's Companion Pokey Tool is such an essential craft item, we've included 2 in each set.
Quick Buy, get yours now.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Good day to you. Hi. Oh, it's lovely to be with you today. Here in the UK, it is exactly 3 minutes and 56 seconds past 7. And you know what that means? It's tonic o'clock. What are you having with yours? Are you going to have some creativity? Well, you most certainly are with us. I want to dive straight on in because we've got the fabulous Jodie just for another hour now. So let me whip through. I need to let you know that 70% of these have now gone. zippity-doo-dah, skippity-dood. I have got for you 4 different sizes, a multiple in each pack. Let me go through them sizes for you. These ones are 3.5 by 8 inches. You might be thinking, what on earth is this? Don't worry, all will be revealed. I've also got for you here your 4.25 by 5.5 inch pouch. Then I've got your 6 by 6 shaker pouch, and then I have got your 5 by 7 shaker pouch. And this is the type of design that you can create with your shaker pad. Now, if I just show you this from the side, look how thin that is. It is absolutely postable. There's not the big weight that you're used to. Oh, I love this one. And it is seamless, usable, workable glitziness. I could use all of those words for the lovely Jodie.
I would say that these are a modern take on a shaker. Yeah?
Lovely.
They're shakers easy, okay? Yes. Now, earlier on, I showed you that was a beautiful card that we've done, and we've literally stripped it all down and put a pocket on the front.
Yes.
So now it's becoming a shaker card.
Fabulous.
Yeah? But it doesn't matter what size you're doing, whether you're doing your small foot formats, your large, the whole front of your card is now interactive and a shaker. Yeah, it doesn't matter what size. So that's the 6 by 6, but we've made it into a 7 by 7 by mounting it up, and it's just so easy to get beautiful, beautiful results because that whole front is the shaker. So, how do you do this? I can't even make it look hard because it's not. So we've got a very basic card, very, very basic. Yeah,
nice.
Happy birthday, little strip across the front, okay? Now, we've got our shaker pocket to go with it. Now, you've got different ways of doing this. You can do it so that you're doing the shaker element with your matte and layer and then sticking the whole thing on the front. Or, as I'm going to do, you can put your pocket onto your card. So, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put it inside my shaker, okay? It's a little bit bigger, so we're going to come in and I'm going to make this into a pocket. So I'm going to take the top line off. All the adhesive is already on there for you, okay? So there's no guesswork at all. As I say, this card is a little bit tiny, but hey, we're going to make it work. So we're going to come into that side as well. Take that one off there. And that side as well. So you can see that we've got those perfect mitered corners on there. So there's going to be no leakage, perfect miters. I got my gubbins. So let's have some silver, and I'm going to have some opaque. I'm not going to show you the front yet, so I'm going to open it up.
I love that.
I'm a tease. So I'm going to put a couple of silver in.
Yeah.
A couple of the clear.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to close that pocket off at the back of the card. So let's take that one off there. Close that off. And instantly,
ta-da!
you have got your shaker, yeah?
How
so you
cool
can
is that?
shake all your bits all over your card perfectly.
No bulk, no oomph, no bump, just quick glitzy makes.
But it makes such a difference to the actual card.
Yeah.
I mean, that was such a basic card, but by having all the shaker all over, you've got absolutely beautiful.
Epic that, isn't it?
If you want another one, we can have another one. Should we have another one?
3/4 of the stock has gone on this one. Just FYI, if you do want to grab it, you've got to be quickety-doo-dah day. Please do seize the moment. I'm just going to show you another few just whilst we get another little pack out for you. Look at this one. I love this one. It just goes to show how gorgeous you can create this, because it can be snazzy, but this has got almost like a traditional feel about it almost. And look, top to toe on that glitziness, left to right, side by side, side. It's going. And so is this bundle, just to let you know. So do seize the moment if you so wish on these ones, because they are popular. Please do be quick. $17.97, $26.99. Don't forget to check your emails because we've got discounts and treats. Jodie's ready for another. I'm with you, Jodie.
Yeah, right. So we're going to do an American A2 this time. So we've got one of our beautiful little panel dies. So let's take the panel die. Now, if you don't stick everything down, it actually adds to the card itself, because your sequins are going to get hitched and stuck in certain positions, okay? So that is my little background. I'm going to mount that onto a wee little bit of pink. I'm going to bring in my shaker pocket. Make sure that you crease all the lines and your tape is on the inside edge.
Okay.
And the sticky is already on there.
Yeah.
I'm going to slide that into my wee pocket. Make sure that everything will fold flat. If it won't fold flat, just go in and trim a little bit off your matten layer. I'm going to come in and I'm going to seal all this all the way around, leaving one flap unstuck. So come on, let's have you, sweetie. There you go. Folding that one over, leaving this top unstuck. I've got a bag of goodies here. So let's bring that bag of goodies in. Let's seal it back up. And before I turn it over, we've got the sentiment here as well. So let's just grab some 3D foam and just put that wee little sentiment in the middle, because I'm going to have the sentiment on the front of my acetate window. So let's bring that and just matte and layer that one up. Got my American A2 card blank.
Okay.
Now, as we know, plastic doesn't particularly like wet adhesive. So if you're going to stick it onto a card blank, then I highly recommend you just put some high-tack tape around there, because that's going to secure it a lot firmer. So just put in that all the way around there, and then we can take the backs off, and you are going to have the most beautiful card, but with ease. So all the way around there.
I mean, it's
No
amazing how
foam
rapid.
tape in any of it, yeah? So easy postage. In the States, your postage goes by weight, doesn't it? There's no weight. In the UK, it goes by how you can thrust it through the hole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah? If it goes through that first slot in the post office, then it's just a normal postage stamp, and this will go through as a normal postage stamp.
So this is so cool.
Placing that one onto there.
Look at the colours.
And then we're just going to add our sentiment into the middle. So that there is going to sit onto the front of there.
Oh, wow.
And instantly,
Look at that.
you have got that little
That is
shaker card.
fabulous.
And the whole of the front of your card is a shaker.
Top to toe in moments. Thank you again for showing us that, Jodie. All of these for platinum price, less than £15. I mean, come on. As a reminder, you are getting in each of these multiples. So you've got 20 sheets in total. Your sizes 3.5 by an 8. I've then got your 425 by 5.5. I've also got in here your 6 inches by 6 inches, and I have got your 7 inches by 5 inches. So all of these you have got, and you can make some absolutely stunning designs. And don't forget, for these ones that are rectangular, they can be portrait, they can be landscape. It's absolutely up to you. So all of those very popular. Not a huge amount of stock left though, in all honesty. Let's chat about more popular treats. I've got cardstock for you, and this is the wonderful Tonic Craft Perfect collection. I'll just run through each of these so you can see what we're dealing with. So I've got some in here which are gently textured. So you have one that almost have a mattified finish, and the reason they've got that mattified finish is because it's almost like a close-up on linen. So when you get this home, it may well look flat to you. It's purely due to the lights in here so you can see everything. But when you get in close, you can see and feel the texture on there. Another textured treasure I've got for you is this one here, which has got that sheen on the front, although it's textured, but is white cards on the back, so really easy to stick. As well as that, I have got for you a card that is so reflective, you can see loads in it. So have a little look. You can even see the little fox there. Hello, you'll see more of me later. You've got that wonderful mirror design, which is just in this wonderful, slightly golden sheen. Oh, that was a reflection of my face there, but right up the nose. No one needs to see in the back cave. Let's have a little look as well at the other treasures we've got. Glittery in our sherbet with the holographic hues, and then one that is so new that Jodie hadn't seen it in real life before. It is the glitter ombre. So this one going from that deep, rich forestry green all the way to a sea foam. Now, of this you get in, as I showed you, packs of each, 5 sheets in each, and today $14.99 or $19.99. So a gorgeous opportunity for you to play with these treats and treasures. I will let you know though, good percentage of the stock gone on that one. So again, it is popular. 40% of that one gone, and we had loads of them. So if you do want them ones, now is a great time to grab them. Let's talk about our more shakers, but this is a little bit of a different one. In this one, I'm going to be bringing to you your sort of shaker pockets, if you will. No, not pockets, your shaker blisters, dies and stamps that match up perfectly with it. Let me just start off by showing you kind of exactly what you're getting. So I've got some wonderful embellishment stamps that would go great with the dies that we're bringing to you in this collection. I've also got your sets of the actual shakers in different shapes. I've got a stocking, I've got a shaky gingerbread man, and I've got your candy cane. If you just use the dies and stamps, you could relatively quickly, with a bit of mindful colouring, create something beautiful like this. However, if you're going to be using the pouches, that's when we step it up to something extra. We have got for you a real opportunity to create something that is fun, it is engaging, and yes, you do get the dies in this to cut out those designs so they look nice and neat every single time. All of those different designs in there with the dies and the stamps, $42.99 for you today on these ones, or $51.49. These ones are great fun, aren't they?
They're beautiful, they absolutely are. So you are going to get, not only are you getting the main shaker die, so you're getting the dies to cut out your shakers, but you're also getting the additional dies as well. So these are your stamps in the stamp packaging, so you can see that they correspond with each of those stamped images. So let's have got the stocking, we've got the candy cane with all the little ones going across the top there, and last but not least we've got Jerry the gingerbread man there with all his extra little bits, even the little baby gingerbread man in there, which is beautiful. So we're going to play with the stocking. Okay, now the stocking, the main part of your die is this here, and you're going to get 2 dies. Okay, now what you'll see is one is bigger than the other. If you are using the actual blisters that come in your collection, in each of the die sets, you're getting 5 each of these blisters. You need to use the small one to do the aperture. If you do the big one, it will just fall through. You need that smaller one there, okay? So let's bring in our matten layer, which we are going to use, and we're going to use that one. So I'm going to put my little stocking in there. So let's get some tape on this situation, because I always tape my dies down. I don't risk it for a biscuit. So let's run that one through. Got my stocking. get the right place because so far today we ain't had a fridge magnet.
Yeah. Oh, I've just had a message in from Jodie asking about the pockets. Are they made from acetate?
No, I don't know what they're made of, Judith.
We
I've
decided
got no
magic.
idea what they're made of. They're not made of acetate. They're thicker than a packaging. They're more rubberised. They're just made of magic, Judith. I've got no idea what they're made of. They work, they do the job very well. So I don't even question it these days.
Love that.
So taking that away now, we've now got our little stocking. Okay.
Lovely.
Now don't throw away these little bits that you're cutting out, because let's face it, you can be using those and just doing them without any shakers. So that was cut out of white, it's been coloured in with aqua pens, it's got the little stitch lines around it, and we've put all the little embellishments in the top. So don't throw these cutouts out, because that could be your next card. Now with all Tonic's blisters, there is adhesive on the back side, which is really, really good because it makes life easy, and I'm anything for ease. But I like to add some more tape on the actual backing so that it doesn't move when I put my bits in, because there's nothing worse than getting your bits stuck on where it shouldn't be and falling out all over the place. So I'm going to put my tape just on some of the outer perimeter of that actual die cut. So I'm going to have a bit down the bottom there as well. So now when I take that away, my little blister is actually going to stay exactly where I've put it. So my blister, my shape, and that is going nowhere now. It's stuck in there, yeah? So I'm going to turn him over. I've got my backing plate that I'm going to put in there, and I've got my bag of goodies, big bag of goodies. So let's open that up. Come on, Mr. Man, open up. No, it won't, so let's cut it. If in doubt, chop the top off it. There we go. So let's come in, let's add my bits into. Whoa, look at that lot.
Gorgeous.
That's going to be a good shaker. I like my shakers full. I don't see the point in having half a shaker. I really, really don't. So we've got all those in, and I've taken every single one off the outer rim. Okay.
Great.
So I'm going to hold it in my hand. I'm going to take my craft pick, and now I'm pulling that away. And because that plastic is actually stuck in by that high tack, I can take that away. Had I not stuck that plastic in, it would be lifting at the same time. So now, putting my backing plate on, turning it over, I've got my full little shaker.
Gorgeous.
But at the moment, it's not finished, yeah? Because you've got the two dies, remember? So if you cut the outside edge, you then cut the inner edge, it's going to give you the frame. So look at that one there, and then as soon as I put that on, can you see how it finishes it off? It makes it jump out of the cardstock. Just by putting the outer rim on there, it just finishes the whole thing off. So let's place that. Let's get some adhesive on that situation and stick that one onto there. So I'm bringing in now my card blank. It's from one of our large nesting dies, okay? So let's just bring that in. Let's add some adhesive around the perimeter of there, all the way around. And then we can stick that onto our base card, like so. We've taken the shape again and scored it across the bottom, so we can stick that one together. So we're creating our own shaped cards. I'm going to take this one now and stick some foam on his bottom to give him a bit of a lift. So let's get some of these long strips and put some foam on the bottom there. I must clean my scissors tonight. I've got that much goop on them. So just a bit more on there, a bit down that side as well. We need a bit across the bottom. Oh, that's a big bit. Let's just put some across that bottom there. And then we can stick this into the middle. Let's get the backs off of those. Come on, let's have you. Come on. It's getting later at night.
I do like how you chat to things like your tape and your foam and stuff.
I have to.
It's nice.
Well, you know, people say crafting is such a sociable hobby and everything else.
Yeah.
When you're crafting as much as I do,
Yeah.
it's not a sociable.
No.
You're literally locked in your office, away
Yeah.
from everybody, making samples up and everything else. So when I'm talking to things, it's because there's nobody else to talk to.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so it is me going slightly mad. Yeah. So I've got that onto there. We've got our little sentiment here. So these are actually in your collection. So you've got a Merry and Bright. We've done that in embossing powder. So let's put that onto the card. So Merry and Bright. We're going to place that just at that top, about there.
Lovely.
And then these are your little dies and stamps. So we've coloured them in with our glitter pens. And we're just going to place those little holly leaves just onto the corners of those Merry and Bright. And you have got your beautiful little shaker card base, a full shaker. Yeah?
Oh, jam chock-a-full.
Yeah, I like a good full shaker, I do.
Looks great. Oh, Jodie, thank you so much for showing us that. If you would like to recreate them yourselves, then let me show you. We have got this opportunity for you today to seize the moment. Plenty of you are as well. I've had you saying that you're grabbing these ones. Mary Pat Superstar Shakes look really fun. Betty's saying our craft goodies have arrived. Congratulations. People have been adding lots of things to their baskets as well, possibly using that discount code or treat code that you got in your emails today. Well done to every single one of you. Is again $42.99 or $51.49 on those ones today. Now, if you do want to get them filled with sensational glitzy goodness, it is your confetti and glitter collection, and these ones, as you can see in the fabulous summery colours, look at how detailed they are with that wonderful sheen, but also every single one of those fabulous flowers just beautifully detailed. I've also got for you the faceted sequins too. Can you see the facet work on those? Lovely, isn't it? Going to add dimension but also intrigue. This is not just a flat sequin. This is like, whoa, I'm a sequin or I'm a mirror ball. You know, it's got that feel. And then also I've got some seriously super duper high impact colour detail on those ones. If you love this kind of colour palette, may I introduce these to you? Because actually we were saying earlier that they would be perfect to use, for example, in the little buttons. You've got little buttons here, actually on the blister pack in the lovely gingerbread man. So if you wanted to make him some little, you know, what does he say? Is it not the gumdrop buttons? Off of Shrek, just to clarify. Then you could actually do that because you've got kind of gumdrop colours here, especially with the translucent one that you get in here that kind of gives you a detail and appeal. So if you did want to maybe make like a backing detail, backing design, use sort of creatures and designs to almost make buttons on his stamp design, then you could do that here. I've also got ones that have got the fragrance to them with the magnolia bloom. You've got ones here that add like dimension but still manage to keep it kind of mattified in there as well. So plenty of treats for you with these ones. as well as all of that, I've got for you
Can I just ask a question?
No. Yeah, go. Of
I'm
course
just
you go.
looking at those bottles. You know the cream one?
This one, the scented one.
Yeah, what's that? Is that the scented one?
Scented, yes.
Oh, I've not seen them.
Have you not had a whiff of them?
No. What's that one smell of?
Magnolia. I'm bringing it over.
Oh.
I'm bringing it over. Here you are. Oh, John's here as well. That was like a weird crafty relay. Did you have a whiff, John?
No, I didn't.
Get your snoot over here. Get your snoot over here. There you are.
Nice.
What's it smell like?
It smells lovely.
Floral, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful, isn't it? Magnolia. Who else wants to sniff? Oh, I wish we had smell-o-vision.
Yeah, stick your nostrils on there.
Yeah. Get on your screen, give it a little scratch and sniff. Don't do that, it won't work. But it's beautiful, that,
I'm going
isn't
to be
it?
doing some major shopping when I go down to Tonic.
I love
Is
it.
that, come on, cough those samples up, I need them.
I love it. If you do want to treat yourself to these, now is a great time to do it, because actually, if you think about it, when we do create cards, we do think about all our senses. We think about sound, right? We think about kind of how it's attractive to the eyes. We think about tactility. Scent isn't necessarily, as in the scent of something isn't necessarily something we think about. Well, now it can be, really, can't it? It's beautiful. Any hoops. Now, whilst we're talking about that, from John to another type of happy mail, I have got for you a massive, massive set of treats. It is your 3D Happy Mail collection. Now, in this, you are going to be getting 35 elements, as in dies in total, and depending on how you use these, colour these, stack these, layer these, will depend on the kind of look and design you get. The ones on the front you can see absolutely exquisite, but use completely different feels, and you're going to be able to get designs such as this. Go again with completely different set of colours. By the way, yes, all of these dies that you see in making it look all fancy, they're in here, and including the likes to make treats like this, all of that is locked away within here. So it's one of those elements that is a box. You can create it as a box for the lid, as well as the lid for a box and the box for a base. This could be something which realistically can hold multiple gifts, great as table decor, great as centerpieces, great as elements in your home. Great, you know, even just as like maybe like a little affirmation box. So, you know, you can pop in there maybe nice little things that have happened, and maybe at tea time when you sat around with your family, you could all go and pick one and read them out. So much you could do with these. Today, just $22.99 or $24.99. A third of them has gone, so if you fancy it, seize the moment. The opportunities with these are massive, aren't they?
They are, absolutely. Now, when you get your dies home, this is what your dies, come on, you can see that I've just ripped my dies off of there, yeah? Inside there is all your instructions, okay? So if you're going to get lost, just follow your instructions in there, okay? Now, I've got the majority of things cut out, but there's two dies that we need to really look at, okay? Now, this is one of the side panels, and this is the die that creates the side panel. And what you'll notice is there's some little noggins just missing out of here, and that is where you are going to put your Mr. Grumpy face in there, okay? So what you do is you put your die back over the top, make sure that it's locked into position. You can actually feel it lock in. You're going to take a pencil and you are just going to put a little dot where those noggins are, because that is where you're going to put your smiley face, but grumpy.
Okay.
Okay. It must be grumpy. If you do it the other way, it doesn't work. Okay. I'm just looking for my sticky tape. I can't find it. Let's just take that off of there. So it's there. Look, can't see it for looking. So just placing that into there. Okay, and then we're going to cut that out, and that is going to make it into, oh, that were nearly.
We nearly had it.
Oh, I promised myself
in the hotel this morning, whenever you're using the Gemini, Jodie, really concentrate.
Yeah.
Concentrate.
Yeah.
Don't make a fool of yourself.
Yeah. Well, you've managed to so far.
So let's take that out of there. So we've now got the slot bit, okay? So go through and reinforce all these little score lines, making sure that they're all folded. So that is one side of my post box. This here is your other side, but remember you don't have to put that slot in if you don't want it. You can have it just as a gift box. So take the tape off of that one, and we're going to stick one over the top of the other. Okay, so we've now got that. Now we're going to decorate this, and all the dies are in your collection, okay? But we have gone luxurious. We have gone with craft sheet metal. So this is metal, and we've gone with chocolate box purple underneath, okay? And these are going to come and sit on the top. So this is real luxury with that craft metal on there. It's amazing. And we're going to do it so that it's got some depth. So taking off.
That's beautiful. Ben's asking a really important question. Do you know the famous detective who lived in the post box?
No.
No, I don't know. Are we talking cartoon? Yes. Is it Dibble? No. He was Top Cat, yeah, but I'm sure I remember him. Oh no, or was it the cat who was like, they used to hide in the post box? Blink, blink. Oh, he lived in a trash can, did Top Cat? Oh.
Got no idea. Come on, enlighten
Oh, it's going to be a
us.
joke, isn't it? And apparently it's genuine. Okay, I'm ready. Danger Mouse.
Did he really?
I don't remember that.
Danger Mouse did?
Nah.
Oh.
Nah. Or a phone box, was it? We'll research it. Don't worry, we'll find out. Apparently it was him, and he did live in a post box.
Ah.
On Baker Street. Brilliant. Because Sherlock Holmes lived there, didn't he?
You see, Danger Mouse, it only just came in really when I was stopping watching cartoons.
Right, I get you. I get you. What a strange place for a mouse to live, though.
Yeah, I mean, I was born 74, so it was, yeah. Oh, you're the same age as my sister. Right, so we've got all those beautiful panels on there, okay? Now, the other thing that we need to address is this particular die here, because you need two of these. You need one for the base, you need one for the lid. But the one on the lid, you have to add this die to. Now, this die, let me find it. This side here is a deboss line. So it's only going to cut on the 5 sides, and that is going to give you that flap, and that's how you're going to stick your lid on, okay? So let's start by sticking our base in. So just going to fold all those edges over. Yeah, when I was it used to be like play school, through a round window.
I loved that.
What were other things? Rainbow.
Oh, rainbow.
Yeah, rainbow when I was a kid. That sort of thing.
Oh, that's
I want to play with a xylophone.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. Mr. Ben, yes.
Mr. Ben, yeah, that's it.
Right, so
Yeah.
we're going to put our base in. Okay, and I'm going to start at the middle of that panel there. So I'm just going to hold it. And I'm just going to, can you see how I've got it in a slight shape? So that I
Yeah.
can stick my base in. Oh, like so. Get my fingers out of the slot. And then we're going to continue going round like so. But we're not going to stick the last one shut, because I need to be able to get in to put this one in. Now with this one, you must remember, you want your flap against the slot. So my hinge is at the back of my box.
Okay.
So I'm going to take all my tape off, like so. And then we can place the hinge on the back panel away from the slot. So here we go. Got my slot, got my back panel. So let's bring in that into the back there and get that one stuck down. And now we can come round and stick all the other bits in. Now you may want to use wet adhesive, that's absolutely fine. You can use your wet adhesive, you can use your high tack, it's entirely up to you. So the last one coming in now, we're going to close this off. So we're going to take that long strip off of there. And we're going to bring that back panel, make sure it's all level at the bottom. Bring that one in, stick it down, level it up at the top, and stick that one down. And you've got the beginning of your luxurious post box.
Fabulous.
Yeah. So let's make the top and the bottom. The top and the bottom are the same size die. So you need to make 2 boxes, one for the bottom, one for the top. And these are easy to put together. So we're going to do 2 bases to begin with. So I'm going to come round and I'm taking away all my carrier sheets. Now your bottom, you're going to do it nice and tight. So come on, let's have you. So when you put in this together, you've got to remember that one is going to be bigger than the other. So, have I took that one off? No, let's take that out of there. Come on. I think this is the longest bit of crafting, you know, when you're trying to take a bit of tape off on air.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Comes off first time when you're at home. So let's go around and make this really, really tight. So we're taking that join right up to your score line. Right the way up to there. Tucking it in. So that's one base.
Okay.
So my next base, make sure that everything is bent before you start, because you want a fighting chance. So just bend in all my glue tabs, all the base, and we're going to come and do that one now. Come on. As I say, I think the problem with this tape is because it was in the car when it was 50. I think it's boiled itself. Yeah, I'm dreading unloading the car tomorrow and finding that candle.
Oh, blimey. Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those big church candles.
Oh, wait, so it's not in like a glass?
I bought a hurricane lamp.
Right, yeah.
And it's got like a church candle in it.
Oh, okay.
A lovely grey church candle. I think it might be like a puddle.
A grey puddle, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it...
That'll be a treat, won't it? Was it scented?
No, it wasn't. It's a shame, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Use some of those Nouveau dots on it. You could make your
Shall
own
I
piece of
give you a
art.
tip about scenting your card as
Tell
well?
me.
Right, so get yourself to the supermarket.
Yeah.
You can buy these in the States as well. Get yourself to the supermarket and get yourself to the washing powder aisle,
right,
next to the fabric conditioners, and buy these scent bursts. You know, those little round...
waxy, that you shake into your washing machine,
Chuck that in with your cardstock, and you're going to have the most beautiful scented cardstock to use for your projects. And it doesn't leave any residue on your cards.
Great tip.
It's lovely. I don't know whether anybody at home can remember, but when I came up last, we did perfume bottles.
Yes.
And in there we put the scent bursts.
Yeah.
OMG, every time you go past the cardboard box that's got those samples in, you can smell it a mile off.
Oh, gorgeous.
It smells absolutely divine.
Beautiful.
It really does. So we're going to go round now and we're going to make the lids. So just ease in that red liner tape away. Come on, sweetie, let's have you. There we go. I think when you talk to something as well, it helps.
Do you think so?
I do, yeah. It's either that or I'm just going a bit.
Victoria did say that talking to yourself, all your things whilst you craft, are because you need expert advice.
It's either that or you need more tonic in your gin. So let's just come round. So making the lid, you're not going to go tight. You're literally going to leave about a 1 to 2 mil gap between the join and the crease, because that then is going to make your lid that little bit bigger than the actual base. So now that is going to sit perfectly onto that base there.
Gorgeous.
It's easy. Once you get used to how much to leave, it literally is about 1 mil. Because if you think you've got the 6 sides, so that's 6 mil, you're making the box lid bigger.
I get you.
So just continue with this one here. I have to say, it's gone rather warm in this studio.
Yeah, it does. It's unusual, that, isn't it? At this time, you'd think it'd be a bit cooler, but
yeah. It's gone really, really warm.
Speaking of coolness,
It says John will
Lillian.
come in and family will he feed me strawberries at the same time.
What? Yeah, I'm sure if you asked him, he'd be absolutely happy. Speaking of John, Lynn said, "Hi, John. Nice to see you. Have you been keeping well?" She didn't necessarily say it in that creepy tone. That was just me. Lillian has also got a touch of that tone about her. Ben, are you in your shorts, sitting in a paddling pool today? He is in his shorts, short shorts, not in a paddling pool today, though. He's in the gallery.
I always say, in this heat, if my feet would be in water, I'd be absolutely fine.
That's so true. It makes a big difference, doesn't it?
I did threaten to go on air the other day with my feet in a bowl of water.
Right.
But they weren't having it. They wouldn't let me.
Were they not?
I'm like, you spoil sports.
Oh. I quite like the idea of you crafting and having a little move and hearing the swash of your feet. Do you know what I mean? Like in the water.
Can you imagine it? So we're going to put the lid, the decoration on the lid, and as I say, that is all craft metal on the top of there. So we're going really, really la-di-da posh. So to make this quick and easy for these ones, so we don't have to wait for the adhesive to take, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come along and I'm just going to add, this, I'm saying it's going to make it quicker, a strip of high tack on here, because that will just speed up the process, so we're not having to wait for them to stick down. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6. I won't do the bottom one, we'll just do the top one. So let's take that away off there, and we can start to decorate that lovely top. Look at this, I've got snotty scissors, honestly.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I've been cutting 3D foam pads with them.
Right.
So the blades are just like all stuck together. I'm going to have to get my hand sanitizer out and clean them.
Right.
So.
Snotty.
Yes,
Right,
snotty
yeah,
scissors.
okay.
I'm known for snotty scissors.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, your snotty sisters,
Yeah.
Jodie.
Yeah.
Little snotty sisters, Jodie. I wondered who it was.
Cutting 3D foam pads and high-tack tape and all that sort of stuff, you just end up with sticky scissors. And it's just like, ooh, hello. So let's do this one. Ben is laughing in my ear.
Snotty Scissors Jodie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's how she's known on the crafting circuit.
So I've got my lid. I've got my base. So all you're going to do is you are going to put your adhesive on the bottom. You're going to centralise your little post box. I'm just going to make sure that that's central. Now at home, what I do at home is I then put something on the top. I normally put a hardback book just on the top there until it actually sticks. But what we're going to do is we're going to stick our lid on. So let's bring that lid in. And I'm going to flip this over now so that I can get that central into there. Just centralise that one. And then you have now got your little post box. You've got your gift card, and that's going to sit inside there as well. So you could have your dosh on the little gift card. But there you have that beautiful little post box.
Isn't that stunning? A post box, which is of course kind of a box with another box, so you could put treats, and in instances, you know, you've got another box on the base as well. There is just so many opportunities for here. Pop in money, pop in chockies, pop in candles, but don't put them in a warm car. We have got serious options in there. If you do want to treat yourself, now's your chance. 3D Happy Mail, and you're getting, well, let me just flip it over. I mean, check out the description there of the amount you're getting in here. It's mega. $22.99 or $24.99 on that one today. Another one that has been really popular is our pockets. They are so popular that they are now limited stock now on these ones. I'm afraid that means we've got hardly any of them left. Just going to show you a little idea of what we're bringing to you here. Your shaker pockets, you're getting different sizes that give you the opportunity to top to bottom, front to back, detail and design. It is wonderful. You're getting loads of different sizes, as you can see, but the workability of these is just non-stop. We're bringing to you 4 different sizes, 20 of them in total, and these are your different sizes, as you can see here. Saving 25%, so you are getting one of these full packs for free today. If you want to seize the moment, now is your chance. We have had a new question in on this, again, asking, are the shaker pockets acetate or something softer? You explained beautifully earlier, they're kind of everything and nothing but magic.
Yeah, they're the weirdest thing. They're flexible. They're really flexible. They're not crunchy like acetate. You know when you get a hold of a piece of acetate and you go like that, it sounds like roll harvest. Yeah. Yeah. They're the weirdest thing ever. What they're made of, I've got no idea, and to be truthful, I don't need to know, because they're just really, really good and easy. So all you're going to do is you're going to bend the sides on the score line, so the tape is on the inside edge, and whatever size you've got, it tells you on your packet, then you're going to cut your mat and layer to fit. You can see that that is going to go right inside there. Okay, lovely. So place it in. You can have all your decorations on there. We're actually going to put the decorations on the outside. But all you're going to do then is you're going to fold all these little sides over on 3 sides to form a pocket. Now these actually look nice if you're doing the memory books as well, because when you go like that on a memory book, you can have that so that it tucks in, and the interchangeable photo frames.
Adorable.
Yeah, different things like that.
Great idea.
So let's take the gubbins. There we go. Stick all that into there. take that onto there. Now, because you've got the plastic on that side, it's easier to stick it down with high-tack tape. So just come across, and we're going to stick this down. So we're going to do the American A2.
Okay.
So just coming down the sides here, all the way onto that side and down there. Let's get our greeting card so that it's actually opening as a normal card rather than an Australian card. I'm rather good at making Australian cards. So taking away those sides, we're going to line that up onto that little card. We've got a little panel. This is actually out of one of our memory book dies.
Lovely.
And we're just going to give that a wee little cheeky drop. Now you would have to leave this completely flat until this adhesive goes off, just because it's going onto the plastic. Let's stick the sentiment on with some high tack so that I can actually hold this up. And that's going to come across the bottom. And there you have the easiest modern twist.
That's brilliant.
On a shaker card, because the whole of the front of that card is then a shaker.
Done in moments.
No leakage, no 3D foam, absolutely perfect.
I adore it. Limited stock right now though. I've got literally your last chance to get the full bundle, okay? Last chance now. And if you do want to get the bundle, obviously it's much more affordable, it's a better price tag. So 4 different sizes in here, 3.5 by 8s. I've got for you 6 by 6, as well as that I'm bringing to you 4.25 by 5.5, and I've got for you, it's upside down, 7 by 5 for you today as well. $17.97 or $26.99. Can I just recap-a-roo on shakers as well, because these are really popular also. We did actually have a question about these, if you don't mind me flinging it at you for a moment. It's from Raggedy Ann. Hi Raggedy Ann, how are you?
Hello.
Saying, can you do a shaker without the bubbly things once you run out of them?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. Just put a sheet of acetate behind. No problem at all. But you'd have to put your 3D foam in.
Perfect. But you get the dies, don't you, to create the shapes and all the rest?
Yeah, you've got the dies to actually make the shape, yeah? Now you can either put acetate in, so you'll have flat, or you can go on Tonic's website and you can buy some more bubbles.
Perfect. And there's always a way. So you're getting different designs. I've got for you my gingerbread persons. I've also got for you the beautiful, and you can see that these are fabulously 3D, candy cane designs I've got as well. You can stack them full or you can keep them gently. We've also got for you the stocking design. It does come with your dies that cut out the things like the lovely edges, like around here, but also you get the ones to cut out your stamps as well. So it's really quick, easy, and let's face it, really good fun as well, right? So well worth treating yourself to it today. $42.99 for you today. What a jam-packed show. So many things have been really popular, in particular the likes of our pockets and the likes of our fabulous cardstock in the ombres that we've brought to you. Jodie, thank you so much for
my
today.
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure, and I do believe I will be with you in August. So it's either August the 16th or August, I'm hoping for the 17th, because if it's the 16th, I'll be coming straight from Manchester Airport.
Hey, wait, where are you going on your holidays?
Yeah, so I'm hoping it'll be the 17th.
Are you going away?
I am going
Abroad?
I'm going away. I'm going to be on that sun lounger like a beach whale.
I love it. Jodie, thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
today. Do not forget, you can find lovely Tonic Studios on social media, so go on head on over and have a look. Whilst you're doing that and you're checking your emails because you've got a little email from us, Cody, use it by midnight. Why don't you check out your baskets? And we will be back after this break because we've got lovely Lily with us with more crafts and more treats.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Achieve crisp, precise, and perfect die cutting results every time with the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim. The idea behind the plastic shim is that it creates a thicker plate combination, offering an even more precise die cutting result with each pass. Simply pop a plastic shim between your cutting plates and then roll through your Gemini die cutting machine and voila, an amazing precise cut every time. Plastic shims work really well with detailed or thin metal dies. So if intricate cutting is your thing, then the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim is your best friend.
Quick Buy, get yours now.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. So, join our family of craft experts with live tutorials and demonstrations every day. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products here on Crafters TV.
Just reach down my bra and take it off. No, not my bra! No, my bra!
Get creative and craft along with our amazing deals. Your next craft project is only a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week or watch on catch up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook or our YouTube channel. You can chat to us, craft along and meet new friends in our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
You're all our time with each other! You're not through to boot camp. Get off!
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. So, stop what you're doing and enjoy the fun here on Crafters TV.
Welcome back to Crafters TV. Oh, wasn't Jodie brilliant? Wasn't those pieces just so inspiring? We will be voting on those toward demo of the show later on. And of course, demo of the day, which is coming for you afterwards. Now, we have had such a plethora of treats on, and one of our most popular of the entire day has been all about the Create a Card dies. Now, these are big scene creator cards, and we have had the fabulous Lilly on with us. He's back with us for this show, and she's already created with a couple of these today. Straight off at the start of the morn, we woke up your day with Wake Up Call, and lovely Lilly showed us how to create a design with these, doing a bit of colouring and a bit of paper piecing. We've also had on the show for you today this fabulous design where Lilly showed us how to create a big, bold, pop-out 3D box as opposed to a 2D box. You know what I mean. I've also got for you in here your wonderful church blessings. That is the third time I've done that today. Always upside down. You are getting the beautiful church here. But as I mentioned before, you know, if you did want to make this into a house, there are elements here that you could change and trim off. Maybe it could be like a fairy tale kind of design too. And last but by no means least, I've got that wonderful cross with those blooms growing around this. If you would like to purchase this one, then I'll give you this for free, and this for free, and this for free, and that for free, and then you're done. That's your lot. Unless you check your emails, and then you may or may not. Definitely do if you're part of Club Inspire. I have an extra treat within there today. You have got 80% gone on this deal, so if you do want to seize the moment, absolutely do. Should be nearly £70 today, not even £17, so it's well worth it. Do seize the moment on those, from big scene to minis. Also, let me remind you, you know the shaker pockets that we had off of lovely Tonic? They have now sold out. They've gone. We've just had an update. So if you had them in your baskets, they might have disappeared. Don't think it's you going, you know, ooh, I've forgotten. It's not you, it's me. But do seize the moment on anything else, just because some things are very, very low in stock. Let me bring you something that is absolutely adorable. These are our mini die collections. Now, if you do have even our tiniest of tiny die cutting machines with all the power of the Gemini, but quite frankly, pocket size, these are going to work great. I've got loads to go through, so let me just show you exactly which ones you're going to be getting, and you can treat yourself to them. So I've got a pets one here. I've got your emoticon one here, including like a what's that called? A letter, isn't it? An envelope. An envelope shape. I've got little sayings for you like best wishes, just for you, special friend. I've got the fairy design here. I've also got a dragonfly. By the way, just to let you know, the dragonfly's got a really lovely open detail to it. I've also got a flutterby in here for you. I'm going to bring to you tags. I've got for you anyone into sewing. Yeah, let's bring to you some seamstress things, including the likes of needles, squizzers, and much more. We have got for you, hopefully not Jodie's snotty ones. I've also got for you a new home collection, which is beautiful. Obviously, we're calling it new home, but you think of keys, you think of 21, getting the keys to the gate or whatever, don't you? You've got your love heart in there. I've got plants in here, which are wonderful, quite exotic plants. Go great with some of our Sharon Callis, actually. I've got happy birthday. I've got congrats as well. Then I've got some party details in here. I have got, wait for it, numbers, massive numbers, including absolute essentials such as your exclamation mark, your hashtag, etc. I've got, wait for it, letters, including A all the way to O, V and Z. I've also got in for you your baby collection too, just as a reminder, there are absolutely loads and loads of these packs for just £66.36 or $79.66. If you want to seize the moment, they may be mini in size, but they are mighty in effect. If you do want to seize the moment, now is a great chance. We haven't got the wonderful Lily in with us for this hour. Lily, small but mighty.
Absolutely, I love this collection. I must say, when I first saw them, I thought, okay, they're mini, they're definitely mini, they're small dies. How much can you do with them? Well, you can do an absolute awful lot with this collection. You can mix and match the different sets together, and you can really build up. You can do quite large cards as well by building up those designs. So not just about your small projects, you can build up those designs to make your larger format cards, your home decor projects. Scrapbook page is perfect as well, so lots and lots of versatility with this collection, and I have to say it's actually become one of those sets of dies that I use time and time again when I'm crafting, especially those numbers and alphabets. They're just your crafty staples, so definitely a great collection to go for. But we're going to pop the card together. I've said you can do your bigger cards. We're going to go for a slightly smaller card. I'm going to go for a 5x5 card, but just because they are mini dies, it doesn't mean that we can't do our concept cards with them, which is what we're going to create here. So all we've done to start with is we've taken some of that fantastic multi-purpose card. We do have that on the Shop the Day page. You can get 120 sheets for a fabulous price, and it's great to stock up when we do have offers like that on your multi-purpose card, because as the name suggests, it's multi-purpose. It's the card you're going to be using quite possibly the most. I know it's the sort of card that I use the most in my crafting. 300 GSM, so it's perfect for creating our card bases like we have here. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of that multi-purpose card and I've cut it down to 10 inches by 5 inches, and all that's going to do is going to give us a 5-inch card base when we score at 5 inches. So 5x5 for our card base. Next we're going to bring in a few mats and layers. So I've taken some decorative papers and some grey textured card. The textured card is just from our Neutrals 8x8 inch textured card pad. I have to say I do love this linen effect sort of cardstock. It gives your designs that little bit of texture, nothing that's going to sort of take away from your main focal point of your projects, nothing that's too sort of overbearing, but it just gives you that. I always think it's quite an expensive look to linen cards, so it's going to give you a fabulous effect on all of your projects. Now I tend to work in 1/4 of an inch increments when I come to do my mats and layers. So our card base was 5x5 inches. So the next layer down, which is our grey mat layer, is going to be 4 3/4 inches square. And then our pattern paper is going to be 4.5 inches square, and that's just going to give us quite a nice thin mat and layer, which gives you quite an elegant and a refined finish to your projects when you work with 1/4 inch increments. Gives you that sort of finesse to have those thin borders onto our mats and layers. So we've done that 3 times. So we're going to have 2 for the inner, then 1 for the outside of our card base. And the pattern paper that I'm working with is actually from our Everyday Delights 8x8 inch paper pad. If you managed to get that, it was actually in the A Year of Craft box number 4. But of course you could use any pattern paper from your stash, depending on sort of the recipient that this is going to be going for. But that's just what I'm going for, the particular theme with this card that we're doing. So a little bit of our tape runner onto the back of there, and then that's going to go into the inside of our card base, just like so. And then we're going to do, I'm going to add the 3rd one just onto the outside of our card blank. Nice and easy. I'm applying this flat just using our tape runner like so, just a little bit around the edges, and I'm having the stripes going up and down. It's totally and utterly up to you whether you have them going up and down or side to side. It's just going to give you a different effect, but I tend to keep them running in one direction. So if you've got one mat and layer with them going up and down, then I'd have the other 2 exactly the same, just to keep that same design going through your full card. So I've taken another piece of that grey textured card and some complementary paper from that same paper pad. I've cut the pattern paper down to it's 4.5 inches by 1 3/4, and then our grey is 4.5 by 2 inches. So again, we've got that 1/4 of an inch increment top and bottom, but no border along the sides for this one. And we're going to layer that onto our slightly larger piece of our grey. Nice and central, just lining it up. Nice and easy to do. And then we're going to layer that onto the front of our card base. That's going to give us that extra little bit of interest and design onto there by adding another layer onto our card front. So probably about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom edge of that pattern piece, and that gives us the front of our card base, nice and easy like so. Then we're actually going to, like I said earlier, we're going to create a concept card. So you might have wondered why I've decorated the insides of this particular card. The insides are going to be just as important as the outsides. We're actually creating what we call a W fold card. And I must say, I used to make these all the time and I've not made one in ages. And I sat down to prep my demos the other night for this show and I thought, right, do you know what? I think I need to make a W fold card. They're really impactful, but really, really easy. And all we do is we take a piece of cardstock. It needs to be the same length as our card base. So in this particular instance, it's 10 inches in length. And it's totally up to you what width you do it. I tend to do it quite narrow, so this is about 1 inch. So it's 1 inch by 10 inches in length, this piece of white multi-purpose card. Then all we need to do is we score it in half and then half again on either side. So that in this instance, it means we've scored it 2.5 and 5 and then 7.5. So we've got in the middle and then the 2/4. So we've split it into quarters. And then as the name suggests, we need to make it into a W. So you start with a valley fold and then a mountain fold and then another valley fold. So basically you fold one way, the other, and then the other to give us that sort of W folding mechanism. Then if we turn this over, all we need to do in terms of sticking this down is we need to apply adhesive just to those two outer quarters. So those two middle pieces in between those score lines, we don't add any adhesive to at all. We just need to add some adhesive to those outer 2/4 of this piece. And you're going to want a nice strong adhesive onto here. So something like your red liner tape or your tape runner like I'm using here will work a treat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just line that up in the centre. So just look at one edge, make sure that's nicely lined up, and you're looking for the two edges to be lined up with the edges of your card base, and then the centre score line should be lined up with the centre score line of our actual card shape itself. And then just stick that down, and what that should give us is it should give us this mechanism like we've got here. So it's more like an M really, because it's actually an upside down W, but I've always known it as a W fold card, so that is what we are going with. But that is our basic mechanism. Looks nice, but we do need a little bit of decoration on there for sure. So what I've done is I've taken some of the inverted nesting dies that we do have on the show today. I've told you I use these time and time again, and I was actually prepping this demo for the mini dies, but of course these snuck in there as well. And all I've done is I've taken some white multi-purpose card and I've cut the solid design of the circle into white, and then I've cut the frame. So like we showed on the first part of the show, when you cut the outer die and that inner cut in die together, you get the frame. And we've cut that frame in that same grey card that we used from Mats and Layers earlier. And if we glue our frame over the top of the white piece, we've got that lovely nested element like so. And I've done that 4 times in total, so exactly the same process with these 4 different circles, and these are going to give us almost like our toppers to go on the inside of the card. Now when we stick the outer 2, we don't need to worry about where we put our adhesive. It can go absolutely all over these because those 2 outer quarters are stuck down fully. Our circles can also be stuck down fully, so we're not having to think too much about where we're putting our adhesive on the back of those, just all over that piece. Then we're going to stick that onto there. I'm lining that up with the edge and that score line so it's central in that way. That's going to give us that perfect lined up finish to our circles onto our card base. Then we're going to do exactly the same with this other side. Again, applying adhesive all over the back of that circle, just because this is going to be stuck that full card base as that panel is there too, so that's going to work beautifully. It's these 2 inner ones that we need to think about a little bit more about when we're applying our adhesive. So what I tend to find easiest to do is to apply the adhesive onto this strip rather than onto its circle itself. So I can see that I've got probably about 1/2 centimetre either side where we don't want adhesive, just where the edge of the circle doesn't quite meet each score line. So we need to add some adhesive just into the centre, leaving a little bit on either side so that we don't have any adhesive exposed on either side. If we were to apply adhesive onto the back of this piece and we had it all over, then basically what would happen is we'd stick our mechanism down, and it wouldn't be a W or an M fold card for that matter anymore. It would just be a normal flat card, which would be fabulous, but it's not exactly what we're going for. So make sure that you pop your adhesive just in that center section. And like I say, I find it a lot easier to actually stick it onto that strip rather than onto the circle itself. You can see we've started to create that mechanism, so when we open up our card, we've got that almost pop art element onto there with our circles. I keep going to call them ovals, but they're circles definitely.
Yeah, circles.
Onto there, like so. I've done a similar thing here with another of our inverted nesting dies. This is just the size up, exactly the same sort of system. I've taken one solid circle and cut that in our white multi-purpose card, and I've taken both the inner and the outer die to cut a frame in that same textured grey card, just a size larger. I'm going to add that onto the front, and with it being on the front, we're not having to worry about things sort of catching on the inside of the card, because we don't want things too 3D on the inside, just because it'll make the card a little bit more difficult to close. A little bit of depth and dimension in the center is okay, but we can get away with a little bit more depth on the outside, so a little bit of foam pads to the back of this piece, and that's going to give us our topper onto there. But of course it's a little bit plain, so we need something to pop into the middle. So all I've done is I've taken some of our fabulous mini dies that we've got on today's show, and I'm working with the baby set.
Cute.
How cute is this? Just absolutely adorable. And all I've done is I've taken the elephant, I've cut this little elephant twice in our grey textured card, and I've taken the lovely little baby grow, I've taken the nappy, and of course, look at that adorable little safety pin. I had to have that one, just so cute. And I've cut that out too. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of ink, so I'm using my baby blue water reactive ink. I'm just going to very lightly ink the edges, and this is going to really bring these designs to life. And with it being a textured cardstock as well, it's going to sort of highlight that textured design on that die cut as well. So it's going to really add that little bit of dimension, that little extra bit of depth. It's only been cut out once from our textured cardstock. I've not had to colour it in or anything like that, but just by adding that little bit of ink to the edges, it really does make those images pop. And we're going to do exactly the same with our grey, our little elephants, and our safety pin, nappy pin, safety pin. Is it nappy? It'd be a nappy pin, won't it? Yeah.
Safety pin.
Safety pin, yeah.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing. Whatever it is, we're going to add a little bit of ink. Which one am I using? I am using Twilight Grey. So just a nice grey ink onto there, just to add that little bit of extra depth and dimension. I've got quite a sponge with quite a lot of ink on there already, so I'm just being quite light in terms of the way that I'm adding my ink onto here.
Okay.
Just add a little bit of colour. Don't need an awful lot on there, just a little bit. It's going to make it really stand out when we come to add it onto our card base, like so. And I've cut a second elephant exactly the same as the first one. I'm going to have one on the outside and one on the inside, but we're going to do exactly the same inking process to this second one. So just a little bit of that ink around the edges to bring out that design and really bring it to life, just like so. Before we go any further, definitely going to wipe up that inky mass, otherwise that'll be all over the card and it won't look too nice with the inky fingerprints absolutely everywhere. I mean, just as I always say, it's an opportunity for another embellishment.
Of course.
But yeah, we're going to tidy that up for now. So we're going to go back to the inside of our card, and we're going to take one of our elephants, and I think I'm going to add a few foam pads, I think. So we've got our diddy little foam pads, which are perfect for your little mini dies. So definitely have a look about getting some of your smaller foam pads. You'll find these really useful when you come to work with lovely little delicate dies like these mini dies are. And we're adding those onto there. Like I did say, we don't want too much dimension on the inside, but one layer of foam pads will be absolutely fine. It's going to give us that little bit of lift, but it's not going to be super dimensional that we're going to struggle to actually shut the card. Just one layer, it's about 3 mil, will be absolutely fine. Baby grow is going into the next one. So we've got sort of two die cuts that have been cut using this turquoisey bluey colour and 2 that have been cut using the grey. So what we're going to do is we're just going to alternate the colours. So we've got 1 grey die cut and then we've got 1 of our turquoisey colour, and then we are repeating that process again, so we get that sort of, just makes it flow a little bit nicer, get a little bit more balance onto our design. It's going to look absolutely fabulous. And finally, for our little safety pin, nappy pin, call it what we will, we're going to add some of our dotty tape pen onto the back, just because quite frankly there's no way I'm getting a foam pad behind that design, so that's just going to lay flat, but it still looks fabulous and dimensional because we do have that inking onto there, so it still gives it that little bit of dimension onto there. So that's the inside of our card. To finish off the outside of our card, we're going to take that elephant that we cut earlier and inked with exactly the same inks, exactly the same process as we did with the elephant that was on the inside even of the card. The one on the outside is going to be exactly the same. So the inside and the outside of the card will all be matching beautifully, and you'll get a lovely effect onto your finished project. And we're going to add him into the centre of that circle, and in order to finish it off, all I've done is I've taken the word congrats, and then again this is another of our mini dies, so the sentiments in here are really, really useful. I use these time and time again. They're a nice little size, so that perfect finishing touch when you want a sentiment that's not too overwhelming, that's not sort of going to overtake your design that you've already got on there, but you just want to add a few words onto your project in order to finish it off. These are going to be absolutely perfect for that. So we've gone with congrats. I'm thinking a new baby boy card for this one. Definitely, it would be perfect for that. With it being quite a nice detailed and intricate die, your dotty tape pen is going to be your best friend with this one. So just take a little bit of care when you're applying that onto there. Of course, you could use your double-sided adhesive sheets that we got on today's show. You can actually die cut onto there, and that will create it into almost like a sticker. So it'll be really easy to adhere onto your projects. Or of course, you could use your tacky glue in your fine tip glue applicators as well. That will give you a really nice neat finish when you are sticking your delicate detailed die cuts like this one, and I'm hoping I've got enough adhesive on here. We'll find out in a moment if not. And adding that onto that bottom right hand corner just to finish it off, and you can see that by adding that inking to the top, around the edges of there even, it just makes it stand proud that little bit more. So it looks lovely from the outside, a nice new baby card, but when you open it up, you've got that W fold sort of pop out element onto there too. So lots you can do with these mini dies. Don't just think about small, simple little cards. You can make larger cards and even your concept cards with these as well too. Just love these dies. I think they are absolutely fabulous.
Just fabulous, right? And of course, you've got the opportunity to create that look with this big set that I've got for you here. This is just a couple of things that we've whipped up for you. So if you do want to seize the moment on these ones, you absolutely can. These are just 3 of them, but actually you are getting a big, massive stack of these ones today for just £66.36. Those are all the ones that you're getting, but as we've seen, used a few of those. So 66.36 or 79.66 on those ones. Let me mention to you that we have been chatting tape pens a fair old amount today. We've just seen Lil's use them then, and we've seen Lily use them throughout the day. We have got for you a purchase 1 and then get 4 for these ones and another one. All of these today for just $14.97. That's 25% saving. So basically, that first one I showed you, that one there, do you remember that one? That one. It's free for you today. It is just £11.98 if you are part of our Club Inspire. If you are part of Club Inspire, check your emails, because we have got we've sent you today a deal that you can use today before midnight. 1 per customer. It does exclude July launches, but yeah, do feel free to treat yourself. As well as those as essentials, I'm bringing to you our wonderful multi-purpose cards. Now, I've just got 1 pack here, but I will be bringing to you 2 packs of this in your order. It'll be a buy 1, get get one half price. It's a great time to treat yourself. It's a great time to stock up. We know how much we use white cardstock, and because this is our multi-purpose, again, it's not just about stamping or base making or box making. You know, this is about multimedia. This is about framing designs. This is about kind of your essential, really. I think it would be very difficult for anyone to live, you know, for even a month actually without multi-purpose white card. So great opportunity at $14.98 or $22.48 on that one. Not just got that though. Really busy one today has been our fabulous paper pads. Now these are Sarah's signatures. They're 6x6s, and I've got 3 different styles here, but they actually work really nicely together. So it's buy 2 and I get 1 for free. They are each doubly sided if you've not seen them before. It's a great opportunity for you to really be inspired by just some fantastic designs and colour palettes. I've got some from our Country Lane, I've got some from our Vintage Butterfly, and I've also got a set from our Enchanted Dreams, which is mythical and magical and more. So a really wonderful opportunity, no matter what you're in the mood for, to get your hands on those at $11.98 or $19.90 only. Now, we have been showing you our fabulous inverted nesting dies today, and these ones we're bringing to you a mixture of your different shapes. So you'll notice that each one of these has a circle, a square, a rectangle and an oval, and it very much just depends on what theme. So those ones are stitch lace, but I've also got for you the scalloped, again, circle, square, rectangle, oval, or I've got for you our zigzag, and again, same shapes. Every single one's kind of got a different theme. I think every single one's kind of for a different person. But today, another fantastic discount. You're saving nearly £31 or nearly $40. That, my love, is the best ever price for you today. So if you've had your peepers on them, today could be the day for you to treat yourself. Most certainly, absolutely do. So, lots and lots and lots of goodies and lots of inspiration already today, but let's get some more. What are we looking at next, Lily?
We're going to have a look at those fabulous inverted nesting dies. You know I love them. I've been squeezing them into every demo, left, right and centre. I use them day in, day out when I'm crafting, and so it's just a real pleasure to be able to sort of share my love of these dies with you here today. But of course we're going to be mixing in some of those mini dies as well because they work so perfectly. But let's actually get crafting, and what we're going to be using is the inverted stitch zigzag rectangle. A little bit of a mouthful, but a fabulous set of dies, and it's exactly the same sort of system with every single set within this collection. So what you get is you get sort of, they're almost like in pairs if you like. So you get that outer solid die, so it's just going to cut you a rectangle. I say just a rectangle, a super useful die for all your matting and layering. And then you get your inner die, which will just cut into the cardstock. So it will cut that frame on the inside, but there's no outer cutting edge. We do have the stitch detail, but no outer die on the outside. So if we cut the two together, then it's going to give us a frame. And that's exactly what we're going to do now. So I'm taking some of the cardstock that we do have on today's show. And I'm actually going to take the smaller size down. So I talked about them being in pairs, and it's exactly the same system, whether we're using the largest die in the set or the diddy little one, which is perfect for all your sentiments, as we'll see in a little moment. Exactly the same sort of system. So if we cut both together, which is exactly what we're going to do now, we're going to get a frame. If we were to cut the outer one on its own, we'd get a solid piece, just a solid rectangle. Great for stamping onto, great for using with all your sentiments. Perhaps you want to add decoupage into the centre. It's going to give you almost like a plaque design. And then if we were to cut just that middle one on its own, it's going to give us that cutting in detail. So lots of different effects, but in this particular instance, we're going to cut both of them together and it's going to give us a frame. The cardstock I'm using is that fabulous Sarah Signature Country Lane Linen Texture cardstock. You will find a pack of that on the website. We're doing a buy one get one free within the bundle, which is fabulous, so a great time to stock up. I have to say the colours in this collection are just stunning, and like I was saying earlier, linen textured cardstock is just beautiful. Such a sort of luxurious and classy and expensive looking finish to this sort of cardstock, but for that sort of price tag, not expensive at all for you guys to pick up at home, but that's the sort of effect it's going to give you when you are crafting. So we tape the two dies together tape them down using a little bit of our low tack tape. You will find that fabulous low tack tape in that Hero tool collection that we've got on today's show. An absolute essential is your low tack tape when you come to do your die cutting. Just make sure that the dies don't move, so you can see we've got that perfect even border all around our frame. So, as I was saying, within the collection, you do get, well, just within this one set within the collection, you get 1, 2, 3, 4 sort of pairs of dies, so 8 dies in total. So you've got 4 different sizes of frame that you can create with this same sort of system by cutting the 2 together. And what we've done here is we've used 3 of those pairs. Couldn't get my teeth in then. 3 of the pairs. So we've got the largest one, that middle one that we've just cut, and then the smallest one. And what we're going to do with the smallest one is we've also cut that outer die just on its own out of our multi-purpose card. Absolute essential card, your multi-purpose. The amount of this I get through, I'm ashamed to even admit. It's quite frankly ridiculous, but it's one of those that you will use day in, day out in your crafting. It is the most used card for a lot of our crafters. Our craft experts will use it time and time again. I'm hoping they get through as much of it as I do to make me feel a little bit better. But when we get it on deals like this, it's definitely the time to stock up. I know I will be. I know I always need more of that. But that's what we've used for our base plate. And then we've stuck our frame over the top, so then we've got this solid piece rather than just a frame on its own. But we're going to leave these to one side for just a moment, and we're going to bring in our card base. We're actually going to create a gatefold card, so something a little bit different. So this one is measuring just over 6 3/4 by about 5 1/4 on that main piece. So we've cut it down. We've scored the 2 lines onto there so it meets in the middle of our gatefold like so. Then what we've done is we've taken some of these fabulous papers that we've got within that 3-pack collection that Becky was talking about earlier, our Sarah Signature 6x6 inch paper pad collection. And this is the Country Lane pad that we use in here. So taking a sheet of that cardstock, we've cut it down to size, and then we're matting and layering it onto a piece of that same cardstock from our Country Lane linen card collection. We know that the colour is going to work beautifully because they're both from exactly the same range. So we know the colour tones are all going to complement each other absolutely beautifully. And working with a 1/4 inch larger for our matte and layer of the pink, and then our card base is probably about 1/2 inch larger, just to give us a little bit more white around the edges. And exactly the same sort of thing with 2 extra panels that are going to go on the outside of our gatefold card. So a similar but ever so slightly different design in terms of our pattern paper, but we're adding it onto exactly the same coloured cardstock, that Country Lane linen cardstock. So we're still going to have that flow, that same sort of matching design from the inside to the outside of our card on our gatefold. So it's all going to work together beautifully. So our second panel, we're adding that onto there, just like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue our 2 panels onto the front of our card. So we're going to have design in the centre and on these 2 doors to our gatefold design. So it's going to give us that lovely print onto there and that beautiful design from that paper pad. I have to say, you get a lovely, it's almost like a faux texture onto these pattern papers. It looks almost like it's been hand watercoloured onto a lovely expensive quality watercolour cardstock. It just looks absolutely beautiful. So many layers within this paper. You've got that design in the background with those textures. Then it looks almost like there's faux gilding on there. Absolutely gorgeous with the splats. Lots of levels and depth to that design, but it looks fabulous with the inside and the outside, just like so. Then all we're going to do is going to bring in our frames that we die cut earlier, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our largest one first, and we're going to add adhesive, but only to 1/2 of our frame. So taking our dotted tape pen just for speed, you could use some foam tape if you've got some nice thin foam tape, or perhaps you've got some of our foam sheets and you want to cut those down to size. Disclaimer, it will give you snotty scissors, probably not as snotty as Jodie's, but it will give you snotty scissors if you cut down your foam tape, but hand sanitizer is the way to get that off. We're adding adhesive just onto one side, so on that left side and then about halfway of the top and the bottom, and then this is just going to stick this So if we close our card and line it up, level it up, use a little bit of tacky glue on the back if you need to give you that little bit of time to wiggle that around into position and manoeuvre it until you're totally happy. But that sticks that just to one side of that card base. Then we're bringing in our next sides down of our frames. And again, same sort of system, our tape runner just on one full side and then half of your top and your bottom sides. And that's going to give you your glue on just the half of this piece, and then we're going to add this into the center. So line that up so it's nice and level and straight and even like so, using our first frame to help us to do that. So we've stuck that onto the opposite side that we did to the first one, so we've got that interlocking mechanism. Then to finish it off, our last one, I'm going to add some tape just onto that left hand side. And with these being symmetrical, it doesn't matter whether I pop it on the left or the right, just make sure that when we come to stick it down, it is on the opposite side. So in this case, we want it on the left. So we've got the left stuck, then the right, and then the left. So we've got that alternating interlocking mechanism onto there like so. So it looks quite nice just like that, but to make it nice and finish it off beautifully, of course we're going to bring in some of those fabulous mini dies. So what I've done is I've taken the Just For You and I've cut one in that same pattern paper that we used on the inside of our card base. So again, it's from that Country Lane 6x6 pad, and we've cut it again, the exact same design in that lovely linen cardstock, and we're just going to give it a slight drop shadow just to make it stand proud, and it's going to really stand out when we add it to the centre of this nesting die. So a little bit of our dotty tape pen onto there. It's just going to help get a little bit of adhesive onto those really intricate fine details that we've got to our sentiment. If we line that up in the centre of our card base like so, and can you see, even though we've got no foam tape, no 3D foam pads or anything onto there, adding that little drop shadow makes it look like it's really 3D, so it gives you that little point of difference. It makes it stand out and pop without actually any real dimension at all, which is fabulous. Then I've taken that lovely butterfly die. Again, it's one of our mini dies, so if you are picking up that collection on today's show, you're going to get those dies included, and this is one of those that you're going to be going to time and time again to hide inky fingers, to hide inky fingerprints. It's an absolute godsend, I have to say. This die is perfect for that. But just as that little finishing touch, that little embellishment that you need on your cards, this is going to be one of those go-to dies. What we're going to do is we're going to add this, I'm going to add it onto, where shall I add it? Let's go to, because I've also got a bow that I'm wanting to add on. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to add my bow onto there and my butterfly down there. I'm always thinking about balance, so I wouldn't want my butterfly on that left side and the bow on that left side, because it's sort of too heavy on the left hand side and there's not enough detail on the right hand side, so you sort of want that balance onto your design. So it's just looking at the design, playing around with it and not sticking anything down until you're entirely happy with your composition. A good way, a little good trick that I tend to use quite a lot is I'll play around with my composition, and then once I'm happy with it, I'll take a quick little picture just on my phone as a little reference. So then when I remove the pieces to apply the adhesive to the backs of those pieces I'm about to stick down, and when I come to stick it back together, I've probably forgotten by that point what I was going to do, or more likely I've changed my mind, which is a different matter, but I've still got that picture as reference so I can remember exactly what I was at least intending to do. Whether I do actually stick it in exactly the same way and I've not changed my mind in the amount of time that it's taken me to add the adhesive on the back is another matter, but I've got that reference there to help me out. And a final finishing touch to balance the bottom left with the top right. I don't want to stick that onto the frame, so it would feel a little bit flimsy with that sort of floating like that. So I'm going to stick it to a slightly more solid piece. I'm going to stick it onto our frame in the centre like so. So we've got the balance from that bottom left up to the top right, a little bit of ribbon, lovely grosgrain ribbon just into a bow, and that finishes that off beautifully. So you've got that sort of interlocking design. It looks quite clever. You might look at it first and think, not quite sure how that works, but really, really easy to actually work that, and it just all interlocks together. Of course, you could be doing that with any of the different dies within the collection. We've used the zigzag rectangles, but it will work with any of the shapes and any of the styles within your fabulous inverted nesting dies collection.
I love it, and I am not the only one. Michelle Knits is saying loving on that card. Janine. I've got a question. You know who's that? Denise, isn't it? Blondie. Totally different. Anyway, what a clever card, she's saying. Hello, Melanie, saying love the demo, Lily. We have got Amy O saying this is a beautiful card. We've got Mary Powell, a beautiful creation, Lily. Loads of love coming through for that one. If you would like to create your own, let me remind you of the treasures we've got in here. All of these different ones, whether it's your lacy like a look you fancy in the different shapes, or of course you've got the wonderful design with that scalloped edge as well, in the circle, in the square, in the triangle, not the triangle, the rectangle, and in the oval. And then you've got the zigzag as well, which is a beautiful selection, and you can create that look with each and every single one of these. So do grab them whilst you can. It's time to get the votes started for demo of the show. Now, we've had a real mix of it in the last 3 hours. So, Lily, give us yours, give us your numbers, and then I will show Jodie's.
My time to be a little bit of a bingo caller now, isn't it? Number one, scores on the doors. So your first option, it feels like ages ago I made this. Feels like weeks ago. It's only a couple of hours ago. I'm just stood here thinking, did I make this on this show? Was this morning? This was definitely this show. Using our inverted nesting dies and our dancing dragonflies to create this double easel card. So that is number one. From quite a small card to an absolute whopper of a box, quite frankly. Look at the size of this one. Absolutely massive box we've got here using our Big Scene Creator card dies. That is demo number 2. Demo number 3 is our W fold card using our mini dies. So we've got that lovely little elephant on the outside, and as we open that up, we've got that W fold on the inside. Lovely little new baby card is number 3. And then the one we've just popped together, our Just For You interlocking card using our inverted nesting dies. That is demo number 4. So get your votes in. Is it 1, 2, 3 or 4?
Or is it?
Throwing a spanner in the works.
We threw it out and we're reeled you in forward. We've also got some from Jodie. Now, Jodie hasn't left all of hers because we did loads of shaken ones, but that was number 4. Now let's go to number 5, which was made by Jodie from Tonic Studio earlier on. So this is number 5, the 3D shaker card, or number 6. So this one is the fabulous gift box within the gift box, within the gift box, within the gift box, with the metal and gold details on there. So that one will be your final choice. So get voting on which one you would like to see for demo of the show, and later we'll do demo of the day. Before that, let's chat winter floral decoupage. Now, this we haven't shown today because, quite frankly, we have been busy, but it has been really popular. Only launched the other day. So we have got for you here a fabulous set of dies and then decoupage that goes with it. So we're bringing to you a beautiful pairing collection. Just want to let you know there's a lot going on in here. So we're bringing to you the holly, but then also you've got this design with your festive bows as well. So you are getting those wonderful stamps so that you can create your own, maybe once your pad's finished, but don't forget you get loads within your pad. You get 48 sheets of this. So obviously the dies are going to cut it out. So this is one from the pad, this is one coloured in. And you can obviously change the colour with that. So that is a pairing, okay? It's one set. Let me bring to you another set, which is, by the way, all of this is together, or you can get it individually. I've got Noel. I am Noel. I've got Noel for you as well here. And again, have a little look. This is your pairing. This is with your Poinsettia Delight. Detail, love the delicacy of this wonderful evergreen feel to this one. So that's another pair. Again, you get them in here, just showing you them how they go. if you want to let it snow, then we've got you snow here. And then look at them with those winter roses. This is the most popular individually, and just sort of give you an idea of sort of how you can use those in together. That looks beautiful, doesn't it, in together? So again, that one is your snow. I've got to bring you joy now, and we're bringing to you, as well as that, the candles. Now these are your Christmas candles. I think this one's got a beautiful traditional feel when you see it like this, but actually you can mix and match it with different papers to get something that's really unisex and quite modern actually. So get them as the pairs, get the whole collection. Whatever you do, treat yourself to the one that you fancy. Your collection is on the screen, and today you're saving nearly £45 in that collection, or nearly $60, so well worth the treateroo if you've had your eye on it. Now, let's chat more festivities, and let's talk about the fabulous decoupage pads. Now, I'll really quickly just flick through these to give you an idea of the types of ones you've got, but you are getting 280 toppers in total. So you've got all of these designs that you can use individually. You're getting 3 designs, 5 pages of each, and you can use them individually, or of course you could just use them layered up. They're already cut out for you. You've just got the little pips on there. So that's one set of designs. Here's another set that has got the likes of your bells in there. Then you've got the likes of your candles, and finally in that one you've got all of your little pine cones and your winter bells. So loads and loads of opportunity in there. All of that only $15.98 or $20.75, and that is saved 20%. We've had demo of the show. Before we dive on into demo, another demo, let's say demo number 2.
Which one? Oh, big box. Big box.
Yes.
I was looking around, I was like, which one is number 2? I was like, big box.
Big box. Okay, let's get voting then on demo of the day. So I'm going to start off. We have got demo number 1 for you here. This one won our wake up call. It is your beautiful box detail with your opening. Speaking up, 3 boxes today, ladies and gents. I've also got for you this box that was for the craft along by the lovely Lilly, where you've got that 3D detail. And then your next box, also created by Lilly with that 3D detail, also with the lifted wings. Get voting. 1, 2 or 3. Get your votes in now. And whilst you're doing that, should we get a little bit crafty? Let's do it. I'm with you.
Shall we? Oh, these Christmas decoupage pads are absolutely stunning. I was talking about earlier how we can do all our quick makes, but of course you can be doing really quite elaborate, extravagant makes if you've got a little bit more time than I do for my festive makes, and don't leave it till Christmas Eve. But we'll worry about that on Christmas Eve, about me making my own Christmas cards. I've already spent all year making Christmas cards, but there we go. These are great for your quick makes if you want them to be. Now, we have called them die cut topper pads, and you can of course do your decoupage with them, but the way they've been so cleverly designed means that you don't have to actually decoupage them if you don't want to. So we take a look at our first pad. This is Christmas cheer. Lots of snowmen, really quite sweet, perhaps slightly more modern elements to this one, but absolutely fabulous to craft with this collection. So what I was talking about, you've got your base layer, and you can be using these extra layers as decoupage, and we'll see in just a moment how easy it actually is to create our decoupage with these. All die cut as well, so great if you are a beginner, and also fabulous for crafting with your children too, if you so wish to do so. So we can use our base layer and add our decoupage, but can you see these layers, our decoupage layers, would also work independently as well. So if you want these pads to go a really long way, perhaps you are selling your makes, you can be using these elements as separate. So not just perhaps you're looking at this and you're thinking you've got about 3 or 4 different images on there. You can of course be breaking these down, and then you can really start to see quite the incredible value for money that you are getting with these pads. But if you are wanting to layer those up and get really dimensional effects, it's going to look absolutely fabulous. Great for your cards, for your gift tags, boxes, home decor. Perhaps just adding one of these onto a cracker that you've homemade, or even just a shop bought cracker. You just want to spruce it up a little bit, make it look a little bit more special. Adding one of these into into the centre of your crackers, maybe your napkin rings, your place settings for your dinner table at Christmas. These are going to look amazing. It's just a quick little fix that's going to add that extra little bit of detail, but it's going to make it look that bit more special. Now, I talked about how easy these are to decoupage up, and all I've done is I've gone with the Winter Joy paper pad. It's 160 GSM, which, like I was saying earlier, is brilliant for your decoupage. It's strong enough that when you shape it, it's going to hold its shape and it's not going to sort of rip and tear or look a little bit cheap, let's be honest. If you've got really thin paper, it can look a little bit cheap. But in this case, absolutely not. It's strong enough that it's going to hold that shape, but it's not so thick that it's going to sort of crack when you sort of try and shape it. So you can get the shape into there nice and easily. But lovely, beautiful print quality on these. And they are beautifully die cut. They just hold into the sheets by these little pips, and all you need to do is just go around and ease these out of the sheets. The pips are just there to hold them into position into that sheet, while we sort of have them kept in the pads. Otherwise it'd just be a bag of die cut bits, which isn't quite as good as having these lovely pads. They look fabulous on your shelves as well when you've got the complete collection of both of them, and lots of crafty options when you get both pads. And quite frankly, at that price, it'd be rude not to get both. I know about platinum, you're paying less than £15 in the UK, so a fabulous price on these when you're looking at over 560 toppers that you can create across these two pads. Absolutely brilliant to craft with these. So you will see that you do get ever so slight little pips that you can see onto there. They are barely noticeable, but if you're a little bit finicky about things like I am, just take a pair of scissors and just trim those off. But let's be honest, they're not really noticeable at all, so you won't have any problem with those. And so easy to trim those out of the pads, as we just saw there. Then what I tend to do is I tend to add a little bit of shape to mine using my pokey tool. You can use a ball tool and your foam shaping mat, like the ones that we use for our flower forming. That will work brilliantly as well if you want to add a little bit of shape onto here. But by adding that shape, it's going to really bring these to life. It's going to add that extra bit of dimension and make them look more realistic and more dimensional. So our base layer is always the one that's sort of that biggest design that we've got the most image to, if you like. We've not had anything cut away. It's that full complete image, and that's our base layer. Our next one up is the next fullest image, which is this one. We've added a few foam pads to the back. Like we were saying earlier, completely up to you if you prefer to use your foam pads, or if you do prefer, like a lot of our craft experts here at Crafters Companion, you'll see them using our Collal 3D glue gel. That works absolutely brilliantly. I just don't want to wait for it to dry, quite frankly. I just want to get on with the crafting. I hate having to wait for things to dry. So by using my foam pads, it means that I get that instant grab. It's dry straight away because it's a sort of a dry adhesive. So I can just get on with the stuff that I love, which is crafting. Don't like waiting for things to dry. We just like getting on and creating pretty things, and these certainly are beautiful designs. I love this candlelit design, just so traditional. It would look brilliantly if you add a little bit perhaps of your glossy highlights, perhaps onto the bells onto there, or onto the holly berries. Maybe you want to add some of your clear sparkle pens onto the flames of the candle. So there's options how you can take these one step further by adding different finishes and different effects onto there. But even without anything being added to this whatsoever, literally just a little bit of shape onto there, a few foam pads behind there to layer up that detail, it gives us a fabulous finished result. So quick and easy to create. But just imagine that on your cards, your gift tags, even scrapbook pages, journals, anything at all. When you're wanting a festive embellishment, these are quick, easy, fun to get put together, but look fabulous.
They really, really do. And the fact you can create that look over and over and over, and different ones, and play and mix and match for just $15.98 today or $20.75 is spectacular, isn't it? So again, do seize the moment on those ones whilst you have the opportunity to do so. We have got a winner for Demo of the Day. Now, it was between three. We've had 3 shows. We've had 2 craft experts. We have had make after make, day after day, hour after hour. The one for today, the winner between 1, 2 and 3. It's number 3! Yay, Lily! Nice work.
Oh,
Isn't that fabulous?
Oh, I'm chuffed. Thank you everyone for voting. I'm chuffed.
So that one right there is going on our shelf of celebration. So we'll pop that on there. We have had the wonderful Lilly on with us today and the fabulous Jodie from Tonic as well. But let's look ahead in Annie style to tomorrow. Debbie Robertson and Ben. You're gonna have shorts on, Ben? Not tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Got guests in, you see, tomorrow. You don't want to be showing the knees. We, especially as we've got Visible Image in with us tomorrow as well. There's a masterclass as well on tomorrow with the creator card as well. And we've got a card load as well. So absolutely oodles. Lily, thank you so much for today.
Thank you, it's been fabulous.
When are you next on with us?
I'm actually back all day Sunday. So if you're not sick of me yet, I'm back all day Sunday. We've got an amazing launch on Colour Me Happy. I'm so excited. It's Christmas, it's colouring, it's brilliant. I've given a little sneak peek on my social media already, so make sure you check that out.
Definitely.
I can't wait, but I'm here all day Sunday. It's going to be fun.
We will see you then, Lily. Thank you so much. Now you, if you haven't used that code on your email, get a wriggle on. You haven't got long. For now, though, I will see you not this weekend coming, the weekend after. So until then, keep cool or warm, depending on where you are. Have a fabulous rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye, my love.